What's going on? Y'all know what it is. You see the title, we getting straight into it. So we talking about Gable Stevenson right now. Does he have a future in the UFC? We about to find out.
Stevenson, UFC champion, yes or no? What do you think? How are you going to get him there? What would Gable's path look like? And there's a lot of similarities, by the way, to Gable and Brock Lesnar. And I understand that they're both wrestlers. They both came from the heavyweight class, and they were both at the University of Minnesota. But there's a little bit more than that, right? I mean, they both had a cup of coffee in the NFL. They both got their eye on MMA. They're both courageous and willing to do it. What is stopping Gable? Gable came out and said there could be some news any day now. There was no part of me that felt...
I didn't even know Gable was in the NFL. What position was he playing? Like, what was he? Did he get burned? Did he play?
like Gable actually had news. I felt as though he was, what do you call that, where you're like trying to align the universe and get positive thinking? But certainly someday we are going to get the news that Gable Stevenson is signed to the UFC. And what appears to be holding him up? What would you guess?
I would guess that he's shook and got to get used to getting punched in the face, and he might not even get used to getting punched in the face, which is fine.
You have the hottest young talent in the world. You have an organization that pursues aggressively hot young talent. What would be holding Gable up? He's willing to do anything. I mean, one thing that is fun, I got to tell you about being a Gable fan, is he's willing to do anything. Freestyle wrestling, collegiate wrestling, jiu-jitsu, bare knuckle, put me in some shoulder pads. Like, the guy is really willing to do it. Is there a conflict with Jon Jones? Is there nothing here? I think that Jon's legacy, when you talk about that, it's a very hard word to identify, but I feel that it grows if Jon was to produce a champion. Being able to produce and be a mentor, to be the head trainer, the head corner man of a world champion, it's a very, very big deal. I mean, I remember when Henry Cejudo retired, even if it was, right, just so he could come back, but he ended up, he had Wei Lee, and he's got Figueiredo, and I mean, before you know it, he had Jon Jones is spending time with him. Before you know it, Henry Cejudo has 3 world champions that he's cornered, and it like totally changes the story. It's one thing to have knowledge. It's a whole nother to be able to relay it and get it to somebody else. So is that the situation? Like, can Gable Stevenson and Jon Jones exist in the UFC at the same time?
I would love to see that.
Maybe. It would seem a little bit hard, though. Like if Jon, anywhere he goes and has a chance to talk about heavyweights and says Gable Stevenson is the best, he is next. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And if Gable, anywhere he goes out and gives Jon the same rub, can they exist in the division at the same time? Would there be a point? I mean, Jon's only got a couple of fights left, and Gable's just getting started. And there's really nothing wrong with having a mentor that you show respect to, particularly in martial arts. I mean, that's the way the story's told, according to every movie you've ever seen. But could you have a young and undefeated Gable coming in that's clearly has the potential to set the world on fire, at the same time as Jon Jones, who will only be fighting for world championships? Is there any kind of conflict there? And before you tell me no, let me just ask you a different question and ask you if you know the story of Rashad Evans. What happened with he and Jon Jones? What happened when that question got asked? And all through the media, there was a breakup that resulted in Rashad not only leaving the gym, he left the entire state.
I heard about this as well, and I think that could entail maybe he felt he was in danger or he just had to start a new life.
So the path for Gable is an interesting one. It's a very interesting card to play, in my opinion. He's a very hot prospect. I cannot imagine that he gets brought in extremely slowly. So at what point are you best to challenge him? Because you're safe to challenge him right now. One reason that Gable is not signed to the UFC is there's nowhere else to go. I mean, there's no promoter out there that's got an opponent that's going to sign him and is going to do a long-term deal. Like, the number one reason that you would sign somebody or lock somebody up isn't just so that you can use their services. It would also be to take it from your competitor, and that's just not a situation that the heavyweight class specifically is confronted with, at least not right now. So you're a little bit safe, right? In like in a normal course of business, you would lock this guy up, but you're in a little bit of a different spot where you can let him grow, let him get a little experience, get him exposed that wrestling's not the same thing, or get him exposed that, hey, this wrestler's going to be the king. Like you're in a little bit of a safe spot. But if you're within the UFC, at what point do you start calling out Gable? You call him out if you're a top 10 guy. You call him out if you're a top 15 guy. I mean, now is your one and only safe time to call out Gable Stevenson and get a full pass. And this isn't like a new move, for example. Guys have been doing this from the beginning of time, and it's one of these accepted things in MMA. John Jones did this a week ago with bare knuckle. Sure would like to go do this bare knuckle. Oh, shucks, I can't. I got a contract over here in the States, right? I mean, like, this is a move that guys are pulling, but you also don't want to pull the move unless it does something for your own career. So at what point within your ranking do you call for a guy who's yet to be signed, but you know when he comes over, he's going to be coming over pretty hot? It's an interesting spot. And if you were the one to call for Gable and you're in the top 10, I think you're not only safe, I think you're safe twice removed. First off, he doesn't have a contract, and second, he's very unlikely to come into a top 10 opponent. So if you're Gable and you're out there fainting in the media that good news is coming, it's an interesting thing. It's just different. It's just different than anything that Gable's done before. Let me give you an example. You're in the Olympics. That is the success. Nobody will know who you wrestled in the Olympics. Your own mother will not know without looking who you wrestled. You were in the Olympics. And the same thing goes with the NFL. You were in the NFL, and no one's ever going to know who you lined up across from. Whether your team scored or your team got scored on, nobody will ever know you were in the NFL. And pro wrestling, at least at the level of WWE, it's the same thing. It does not matter if you're a jerk in the curtain or not, you were in the WWE. And I don't feel that that is necessarily true for the UFC. I think that it does matter who your opponent is. It does matter if you're coming up through Contender Series or Ultimate Fighter, whether you're going on a numbered event or you're a prelim. So at what point do you start to play that? Like if you're going to come out and lie and say that, hey, there's good news that's coming any day now, right? As though somebody handed a postman your contract and he's got to ride it through horseback through the snow before it gets, like, as though these things can't be done like any day now, right? If you're going to come out and lie anyway, why not lie a step further and say, and I'm fighting Derek Lewis, for example. I am the back. I'm sure you've heard it by now, but I am the backup to the White House card. Just ask Surreal. I don't know. If you're going to lie, why contain the lie? It seems like you would want to tell the biggest and best lie that you could. And there is definitely a path for Gable to fast track himself in the UFC. The obstacle seems to be that postman that's stuck in the snow. The bigger obstacle appears to be, I mean, when I look at this young man who's completely undefeated, I don't even know if he's had a shot landed on him. I know he's never lost a round, let alone a fight. I know he's never lost a minute of fighting under any skill set, all combined. It would still seem that the biggest obstacle, no different than being WWE champion or being a Super Bowl champion or being an Olympic champion. The hardest part is to get into the WWE, the Super Bowl, or the Olympics. So what does Gable need to do? He's undefeated. He's unbeaten. He can get the media. He's landed a spot on Joe Rogan. What is it? What is the holdup? Is it having a mentor? Is it having a protege? Is it standing in the room with the very guy that you're going to use to get you in, but he says he's the best in the world, and he's saying you're the best in the world? Does that even have anything to do with it? He's a relic, you're a fresh prospect. I mean, I'm asking the question, but it would seem like when people ask me, and I get asked this a lot, how does Gable Stevenson become the UFC champion? Well, let's build this like any other house, one brick at a time. First brick, get signed to the UFC.
No duh.
Islam Makhachev and ILLIA TOPURIA. Here, there seems to be a story brewing And there's two different versions, as is common in MMA, not to mention there's two different languages being spoken. Like, I understand the entire thing, but let's just look at the scorecard real fast. 1 year ago, I remember where I was. It was one of those moments because I was in Las Vegas filming The Ultimate Fighter, getting ready to destroy Daniel Cormier. And get this news. Get this news that ILLIA TOPURIA is leaving the 45-pound title behind. He's going up to 55, and he's going to instantly contend for a world championship. And I remember pushing back. I remember arguing about that because ILLIA was working so hard in the media to get himself a title shot. I did not feel that it was wrapped up. Like it was a little bow tie. Hey, here's the deal. You're the 45-pound champ. Slide up here. We'll do this whole champ routine. I didn't have that feel in conjunction with ILLIA working so hard. Now, at that time, just to remind you of the landscape, you had Charles Oliveira, who was ranked #1, that seemed to be waiting in the wings for a rematch against Islam, which you, the audience, by the way, seemed on board with. And it was a number of weeks later. It was like 3 weeks later. I'm still in Vegas, still doing this filming just for proximity within my own mind. We get the same announcement, and it's Islam. Islam is going to leave 55 behind. He's going to go up to 170. And he is expected to get an immediate title shot. So you now have ILLIA that left his belt and went after Islam. Very important. It's an extremely important part of the story. As a matter of fact, I'm not convinced that it isn't the entire story. This entire story is that ILLIA came to 55 and put his finger in the chest of Islam, who did not fight him. As a matter of fact, he left the entire division to not fight him. That happened. Now, when I recount this story, it struck a nerve with Islam. He did not like that. He did not like that Chael calls him a coward, which I must tell you, never happened. I don't call him a coward now. I'm telling you, ILLIA TOPURIA came in the division, tried to fight him. Islam did not give ILLIA the fight. As a matter of fact, Islam left the division. There's no talk of a coward. This is what happened. Now, it seems that that's the one that eats at Islam the most. I mean, it just seems like that. Because if I was to back up to last year, going into Madison Square Garden, where Islam was going to take on Jack Dale Maddalena, all of the talk was about ILLIA. As a matter of fact, the rumors that there's going to be a card at the White House and what's going to main event and who's going to fight, all of the talk is about getting Islam and ILLIA together. Okay. So there is now, right here today, Islam is upset with ILLIA and saying, you're the one that cost the fight. Don't pretend that it's not. And he's talking about the White House. Hey, we were offered this fight. My side was in. Your side wanted more money. Don't act like this isn't your fault. All right, now, this entire thing is predicated on the idea that you have Islam's side and you have ILLIA's side, and there's always what the red corner says versus the blue corner, and you have interpreters, and you get lost in translation. Like, we understand absolutely 100% of those things, but boy, they're close. Right? I mean, of a typical story, there's my version, there's your version, and then there's the truth. On a typical story, it sure sounds like these guys are saying the same thing. And for whatever reason that this is the topic that gets Islam's panties in a bunch, for whatever reason, this is the one. Let's just break down the math real fast. Okay, if Islam is at 170 pounds and ILLIA TOPURIA has been out on the injury list, whatever you want to call that when a guy is heartbroken, whatever that is, but he's removed to the point that they had to come in and do an interim belt. So now he's going to return, coming off of the sidelines, he's going to return, and he's going to do it in a weight class that he's never competed in before. And we're supposed to be aghast. We're supposed to be offended as the audience that he would then ask for more money. Like we're supposed to go, oh my God, ILLIA cost him the fight. Here's ILLIA coming off the reserve list, apparently to go against the #1 ranked guy pound for pound in the world. It depends whose ratings you look at. Some say it's Islam's and Some say it's ILLIA, but the very same list doesn't even have Jon Jones. So I'm just sharing. He's going to come off. He's going to do all of these things at a weight class that he's never done before to make believe that he's not going to ask for a bump in pay. I mean, nobody hates the renegotiation more than me. But Islam's argument is that the fight could have happened. It was held up on ILLIA's side. So ILLIA, who's not only left 145 to come chase you down at 155, who's not only called you out in the media, is now apparently even willing to go to 170. There's a price on it. It's not what he planned to do, but he's willing to do it. That sounds pretty good for ILLIA's side to me. It sounds very much in line. Now, somewhere along the way in this timeline, Islam committed that he was going to go back to 155. In the buildup leading into Jack,
which is where he started at, where he should be at.
Islam had said, I am going to go back to 55. And I remember us over here at Bad Guy Inc. said, no, you never will. We're not saying that you're a liar. You're just, you don't know what you don't know. As soon as you get on the scale, I remember us talking about this. As soon as you get on the scale at 170 pounds, and you just realize how good you feel, how much better life is, that your genuine overall enjoyment of this thing called life, you are never going to go through the punishment and sacrifice of returning your body to 155 pounds. And sure enough, as soon as he weighed in at 170, he said, I'm never going back to 155 pounds. Nobody's wrong here. Like, Islam and I do not dispute the story. Islam will tell it the exact same way as I told it. Islam will not come out and say Chael is out there saying things that didn't happen. We'll say it the exact same way. But Islam reasonably believes that he's got the high hand. I don't see it that way. If Islam and ILLIA never fight, and we're forced as historians to look back on this time frame and anoint one of these guys for legacy reasons, to anoint one of these guys, we got to go with the guy that tried to make the fight. We have no choice. We have to go with the guy that left his division and entered your division and put a finger in your chest. You then left to another division, and by your own admittance, that guy was willing to even come to that division. I don't know that we ever need to see ILLIA and Islam. Like, that's a big fight. It's an interesting fight, but it's a big fight, and it's an interesting fight predominantly because it gets rid of one of them. Like, that's the part that nobody ever really likes to admit when you make these, somebody's, oh, must go. Nobody ever likes to talk about the fact that you're both painfully boring. But we got
to real fighters, I don't think they're boring at all.
Put you on top of the bill. So we're going to put you against each other, not to find out who's better.
Our first guest of the day is here, and they tell me he's here, and I need to see it to believe it. It has been 6 long years since I spoke to this man, and he is in fact here. My old friend Colby Covington on the program. I'm not sure if hell has frozen over. I'm not sure what happened, or perhaps Chad Bronstein is the true dream maker in all of this, because you're competing for him at RAF 7, and it has been a hell of a long time since we last spoke. I'm delighted to see you, Colby. Welcome back to the show. It's great to see you. How are you?
Thanks, Ario. I appreciate it, man. It's good to talk to you again. You know, long overdue, and I'm doing great. How you doing? How's the family?
Everyone's doing great. I appreciate that.
You don't care about how his family is.
Could I ask, where have you been, man? Where have you been? What happened to us, Colby? We had a great thing. What happened?
Started moving like a snake, Ariel. See, why he always act like he don't know what happened. He always trying to look for the controversial thing to say.
Yeah, I've been all over the place, you know. Nothing happened, you know. We're all good, you know. Nothing but love and respect from my end, you know that. But you know, I've been a busy man. You've been a busy man, so you know our schedules haven't met, but they've met here now, thanks to the great powers of Chad Bronstein and all he's done for RAF and Real American Beer. So I'm excited to chat with you again today.
All right.
A lot to discuss.
A lot to discuss, absolutely. And so welcome back to the show. I'm excited to have you. I'm excited to talk about it all. I will ask you first and foremost about RAF and your match this weekend against Dylan Dennis. You've been out there doing a lot of promotion. There it is. It's going down March 28th, Fox Nation, 8 p.m. Eastern, Tampa, Florida.
I was going to be whack. I ain't going to hold you. I'm not tuning in for that.
Florida. And I've seen you out there doing, you know, the media rounds. I don't see a lot from Dylan. And so I'm just wondering, given his history, is there any part of you that is worried about him not showing up on Saturday?
Yeah, definitely. There's a big part of me that's worried that he's not going to show up. And I've talked to Chad Bronstein about it, and I've said, hey, if he doesn't show up, do you have any contingencies in place? Do you have anything set in case of a backup plan? So he's assured me, Chad said that he's going to be there for sure. So, I respect Dylan for wanting to step into my arena. I'm willing to step into his arena next if he wants to. Obviously, he's not allowed, to ever go to a UFC event. So this fight could never happen in the UFC. It could only happen in the RAF mats. So I'm thankful for that. Luckily I didn't have to fight 27 Dagestanis to get kicked out of the UFC. I just, but so he's got the strength of a lot of men right now. It's going to be a tough fight on Saturday night.
And when you say that you're willing to go in his world, you mean the world of jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, the world of jiu-jitsu. If he wants to do a jiu-jitsu match after this, I'm willing to go wherever he wants to go. I appreciate him hopefully, coming to lace up the wrestling shoes this weekend in Tampa, Florida at the Yingling Center for RAF 7. But if he's willing to come out and do this, then yeah, I'll give him his wish to do it in grappling.
I did see we posted a thing about this match on Uncrowned on our Instagram, and he did write a comment saying that he's going to expose you on Friday at the pre-match press conference. What is he talking about? Do you have any idea?
No, I have no idea. There's nothing to expose. What you see is what you get with Colby Covington. I'm a man of integrity. I'm a man of America. I'm a man of principles and values. So whatever he wants to come at me with, I'll hit him back 10 times 10. So, I have nothing to hide. There's no skeletons in my closet. I'm a good law-abiding citizen, and, I just love my country, and I love to fight, and I love to wrestle. So that's what I'm going to do on Saturday night for RAF.
Okay, so it's really interesting that you say that, Colby, because obviously I've seen all your interviews lately, and we'll get to the UFC stuff in a moment. But the sentiment that I am getting from the fans, including right now on the chat, is this the real Colby? And they seem to like this version of Colby as opposed to whatever version, if we want to call it that we've seen from you over the past 6 years. Is this the real Colby? Is this Colby that I'm talking to right now different than the Colby of the last 6 years? It seems like your tone is a little bit different. You've said some different stuff that we haven't expected from you. Are we now seeing a new and improved or different side of you?
No, it's still the same Colby, Ario. Obviously as we get older, we grow and we mature, and I've definitely matured through the years. And, I understand now that, that sometimes you got to bite your tongue on some things and not just go full out and, speak with your emotions. You need to speak with logic, with truth, with facts. So, I'm just being myself. In the past, I was just unapologetic, and I wasn't afraid to take the road less traveled. So even if it was going to lose me some friends or get me upset with the bosses that be, but I'm just me. I'm not being any different than I've ever been. Maybe I'm just a little bit mature in age now.
Do you have regrets? Given that, and I appreciate and respect that, do you have any regrets about things you did or said over the last 6-7 years?
No, absolutely not. Because if I had regrets, I wouldn't be who I am today. I feel like every decision I've made in my life, every interaction that's happened in my life has defined my character. It's created who I am today. So, I'm just trying to be the best person I am today. I don't want to look in my past and dwell on something and be like, hey, you did this wrong, but maybe I wouldn't be here talking to you today if these things wouldn't happen. So, I believe that everything happens for a reason. I have faith, and, I don't regret anything.
As I think there was once a time that I worked at ESPN, and I was a big championer of your cause, so to speak. They would tell me I can't have Colby Covington on my show live, and I would say absolutely not. They would tell me you couldn't wear the MAGA hat. I would say absolutely not. He has to wear whatever he wants to wear. We did a video of you meeting the troops Fleet Week. I believed in what you were trying to do, and I understood where you were coming from. I know we haven't talked in a while, but I think that I come from a sincere place when I say this. If I can push back on one thing, I think that the Leon Edwards thing was the one time where you went over the line. If we could pick one time, do you have regret for saying what you said about Leon's father?
No, I don't have regrets.
There he goes again, trying to look for a controversial statement, something that was dead years ago that a lot of people forgot about. He's bringing up, just bringing up old stuff. That's the Ariel Helwani does. It's not real reporting. It's just stirring up the pot. It's kind of what females do, honestly.
You see, even President Trump, bad people
And honestly, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm on YouTube. This is why I'm on the internet. I'm here to take Ariel Helwani's job. I'm here to take a lot of these guys' jobs who have no experience in fighting, who have zero idea what they're talking about. They're just here to cause drama, and they're not propelling the sport anywhere.
You know, when they do bad things, you know, we're not going to put pity and we're not going to feel sorry for bad people. You know, he wasn't a good person. He definitely affected a lot of people's lives, Ariel. But I'm not going to talk about him. That's something in the past. But, you know, it's not like he was a saint. He wasn't a good person. And, you know, I don't feel bad for what I said. You know, obviously, I got caught in the heat of the moment. You know, I'm trying to sell pay-per-views. You know, UFC was putting a lot of pressure to me at that time. Hey, we need you to sell pay-per-views. We need you to be an entertainer. We need you to do this. We need you to do that. So I felt like I had to step up and I had to do something to make a big boom that was going to sell a lot of pay-per-views. So, you know, maybe I don't regret that though, for sure. It's not like he was a good person, but it is what it is. You know, that's life. You know, no, the thing is there's only one perfect person, and that's the man above. So, you know, I'm not perfect. You know, we've all said things in our past that we probably wish we could take back, but I don't wish I could take it back. I just wish that, you know, I could learn from it. And I did learn from it, Ariel. And I feel like I'm a better person now because of it. And, you know, something like that is never going to happen again. There's just no reason to go there.
Okay, fair enough. And so considering all of that, you say that, you know, you were trying to sell pay-per-views, be the company guy, be the guy for the UFC. And I've seen your interviews as of late, Submission Radio, MMA Junkie this week. And correct me if I'm wrong with this assessment, you seem quite frustrated. You seem quite upset with not getting fights, not getting on the White House card. You mentioned to Submission Radio that you think Hunter Campbell doesn't like you and he's kind of put you on ice after you took a fight against Joaquin Buckley on short notice in December of 2024. Can you tell the audience how you feel about your relationship with the UFC and your spot in the UFC right now, considering all of this?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my relationship with the UFC is always going to be good in my book because they've changed my life, Ariel. They've made me, you know, a self-made multimillionaire. You know, you know, I came from nothing. I came from a blue-collar family that had absolutely nothing in Oregon. Now I can, you know, take care of my parents' houses, take care of their cars, and do things that never would have been possible without the UFC. So, you know, I'm always going to be grateful for the UFC. You know, what I spoke out the other day was just, a little frustration. You know, I thought that, you know, I would have been rewarded with the White House fight. I said, hey, Hunter, I'll fight anybody on God's green earth. You want to put me against John Jones at heavyweight? Let's do it. It sells. You know, we're a former roommate, so let's do it. But, you know, he had other plans. He didn't have any plans for me on the White House. He said the fight card was booked and there was no availability. There was only a few slots open and they were all booked. So, you know, I was a little frustrated. I spoke out of emotions and I'm mad at myself because of that.
Honestly, the way he handled it was wrong, but I think if anybody deserves to be on the UFC fight card in the White House, it's Colby Covington. But I guess he's just that washed that Dana doesn't see it in him.
But, you know, I love the UFC. The relationship's always going to be good. I have a meeting with them in a couple of weeks. Maybe you can bridge the gap. You want to go to the meeting with me, Ariel?
I think that could help. I think I could help bridge the gap. So. Yes.
Yeah. I think if you sat down next to me, you represent me, you know, and we just talk to Hunter. We have a good talk in Miami when they come to the Miami show in a couple of weeks. I think we can get this all resolved.
I would love that. I would love nothing more. I think that would be tremendous theater. I'm not sure how much it would help you in the end. So.
He's not asking you to do it for theater. He's asking you to get it for a deal to get done. This is business. This is not your entertainment. See, you don't even know the difference. You can't decipher the difference because his business is built off of negative energy, negative entertainment, putting people under the bus, getting people to sell each other out, getting people to say controversial statements that aren't even necessary.
I don't want to screw you. But I will say your tone is very different than just a couple of days ago. I don't know when that interview was shot, but you seemed enraged. You seemed very mad. And I understood where you were coming from. You were the first guy to bring that belt to the White House. You've been talking about Donald Trump. You seem to be a shoo-in for this card. And so your omission seemed very noticeable.
Yeah, honestly, I think a lot of the emotions and like that frustration was coming from people outside of me. You know, it wasn't really me. Like, I didn't really care. I was like, you know what? Like, I wanted it. I cared. Obviously, I cared. I wanted to be on that White House card. It means everything to fight, you know, in front of all the politicians in D.C., in front of, you know, the greatest living president we've ever had, Donald Trump. But I was like, you know what? Like, I've been to the White House. I delivered the belt to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. I went in the Oval Office. You know, I toured the White House. I was there on election night. You know, President Trump invited me to the White House on election night countless times, twice. And, and I enjoyed those experiences. So like, it's different for me. Like, I don't need to go to the White House again. I know I can get those invites to go anyways, but I don't need to go fight there. I could fight anywhere in the world. But it was my friends, and honestly, it was my parents. My parents were coming to me. They were so mad. They were like, Colby, oh my gosh. They were like screaming, like cussing, like, F the UFC. I can't believe they did this to you. You were so loyal to them. You took a fight on your last fight with Buckley, and you didn't even train. You were on the campaign trail for 6 months. You were all in about America, Trump, and then they don't give you this honor.
We're not interviewing your parents. We're talking to you, Colby. We're not asking what your mommy and daddy said. They shouldn't have any influence on what your decisions are in life. Now you're a grown man.
Like, the least they could do is give you this fight. Like, you did them a favor on short notice last time. Like, and you know, that's what got to me, Ariel. It's just like, I didn't speak from my heart. You know, I let other people's emotions affect how I was talking, and I regret that. If there's any regrets, maybe I regret that I spoke from other people's emotions. But, you know, you're right. There's a new tone now. And, you know, I look at my life today and I'm like, dude, I'm sitting in an R8 right now. You know, I have a beautiful life. You know, I got a great match in RAF this weekend, you know, in Tampa, Florida, Yingling Center. I got great friends, you know, great support. You know, what is there to complain about?
That is fair. That's 100% fair. I will ask, though, Bo Nickel was on the show, and he said you were offered a match against him, a fight against him at the White House. Is this inaccurate based on what you experienced? Were you ever offered a fight against Bo Nickel? Here's the tweet. He said it to me as well. What happened?
Yeah, that's 100% fake news, Ariel. We could call Hunter Campbell right now. I'll put him on the phone right now. He never offered me Bo for the White House. I said I'd fight any man. I'd fight Bo. We can go any weight class. I asked him, if I fight Bo, is this going to be on the White House? No, we only got limited spots. This is exact words from Hunter. I said, okay, well, if you only have limited spots and I can't fight Bo on the White House, I'm fighting at my normal weight class, Ariel. I'm going to fight at 170 because I only walk around at 185, 190. Why would I fight at middleweight against some nobody who's never even been in a main event in his life, who's a little privileged fucking asshole who just acts like the world owes him everything when he hasn't earned anything? So no, the fight was never offered for the White House. They talked about, oh, maybe we could do the fight afterwards later in the year. I'm like, no, I'm not entertaining this fight unless we're at 170 because that's my weight class. I've been 170 my whole career, never missed weight, ultimate professional, ultimate company man. So I told Hunter, if I'm fighting if I get an actual camp, unlike the last one, because they called me on a week and a half's notice, if I get a full training camp, 8 to 12 weeks, I'm fighting at 170. That's my natural weight. I walk around 185, 190. So the fight was never presented for the White House at 85. I would have fought him.
Saying what you walk around as is not typically a good strategy in fighting. That gives the other opponent a nice jump on you and know how to prepare against you for the next bout.
Would have fought the Hulk, you know, on short notice at the White House. It didn't matter. I just wanted that opportunity, but the opportunity was never presented with Bo at the White House.
Okay. And so as of right now, you're not interested in that fight. If it's at 185 or anything like that, you're not looking at that.
I mean, it's an easy fight. He's not a fighter. He's a competitor, Ariel. He doesn't know how to fight. He gets hit in the body and he quits. He's not a real fighter. He's a competitor. He's a wrestler. He's not a fighter. So I would love that fight, but at my weight class, I'm a 170, especially because, Ariel, if we're going to do it, let's put some stakes on the line. Your boy loves to play high stakes everything. So if we're going to put a fight up with me and Bo, let's put some stakes. Let's do it for something that actually matters. I'm actually ranked. I'm ranked at welterweight. So if he wants to come down to welterweight, we can make a prestigious fight. We can get it going. No problem. I'll punch that little stupid ginger bull cut out of the way. And
I think Bo Nickel would work him like a summer job bad.
His hype for good.
Okay, this is the old Colby coming back. I like this. Now we're revving it up a little bit. By the way,
I thought you didn't like it before, Ariel, like when he said that about Leon Edwards' dad. Pick a side.
What do you say to people who say you should not be ranked anymore?
You know, I tell them, you know, like, you're not even the best hot dog flipper in your family. How are you going to talk about one of the greatest fighters of all time?
But you know, because of the inactivity, because of the last time you want to fight, is there a case to be made? Do you think it's unfair? Like, for example, Shavkat, I believe, was removed from the rankings, and you know, he's been a little bit more active. I know he hasn't fought since December of 2024, but he won that fight against Ian Gary. What do you say to that?
I think what I say to that, Ariel, is like, I don't need a number next to my name. to get me across the fans. You know, I already identify with mainstream, with hardcore fans, with everybody out there. Like, people follow me that don't even follow UFC. They just follow me because I love America and I support President Trump. So I don't need a number next to my name to be relevant, Ariel. All these other guys, they need the numbers. So I don't really care. They could take the number from me. That's not going to change anything. It's not going to change my history. It's not going to change my legacy, what I've done for the sport, and what I'll continue to do for RAF in the future. So honestly, I don't really care about the number. It makes no difference to me. My belt's just as shiny at home when I see it every night when I come home after a hard day of training. So, you know, my name speaks for itself. That's bigger than any ranking.
When you meet with the UFC brass in Miami in a few weeks, if they ask you, like, what do you want, Colby? What will make you happy? What will you say to them? What is it that you want?
Just high-level, entertaining fights, you know, something that moves the needle, something that is worth something, that makes me want to get up early in the morning, you know, a high-level fight, you know, someone that's got a big name, you know, someone that is going to bring eyes and attention around the fight. You know, I don't want to fight nobodies that have done nothing in this career, never been in the main event. Ariel, we've been main eventing, you know, like you said, for 6, 7, 8 years straight. You know, we've been, you know, the top guy at welterweight selling this division for, you know, 8 years plus. So I just want meaningful fights that add to my legacy, you know, because if it doesn't add to my legacy, then what's the point? Am I just going to fight for money now? It's not about money to me. I got in this sport like every wrestler does, because you do it for the glory. You don't do it for the money. So, you know, unless it's a high level, entertaining, big name fight, then, you know, I'm just going to put my all into RAF. This is my focus. You know, I'm still young and in my prime, 38 years young, took good care of my body. So, you know I still have 4 or 5.
Taking real good care of your body. What does that really mean as a wrestler? Is part of being a wrestler is to literally destroy your body. And I'm not just talking about the muscles. I'm talking about bones, spines, necks, joints.
Hard competitive years in me. So if UFC can't use me, then, you know, I'm glad that RAF and Chad Bronstein can, because, you know, I'm going to give them my best, and you know, I'm going to make sure I sell this company to the moon.
We have seen some, you know, unrest among some top stars. If it comes to the point where they're not offering you anything that you like or not keeping you active, will you ask for your release?
Oh man, that's a tough question. You put me on the spot. Well, ask for my release. I mean, I think if they're just cool with who I wrestle in RAF and just let me do my thing, then no, I won't ask for my release, because I'll be happy with everything I've been able to do and the life I've been able to create through the UFC. You know, I still want to have a good relationship with the UFC. I still love the UFC and everything they've done for me, and I want to help be a part. I know they probably don't want my help in any way, shape, or form, which is cool. You know, it doesn't hurt my feelings. But
why do you feel that way? Why do you feel they don't like you and Hunter in particular?
I've always known it, because honestly, they've never promoted me. They've never went like out of their way. And then also, whenever they ever have those like little fan expos or like meet and greets for the fighters where they pay them like 10, 20 grand, I've never been invited to one in like 6, 7 years, you know? So I know what it is. I know where my place stands, but I know I'm also good for business, and I sell tickets, I put asses in seats and sell pay-per-views. So, you know, I know the star that I am and the revenue that I generate for this company.
So when you see some of these other, like John Jones, right, your old friend, asking for his release and whatnot, is there any part of you that is like, oh, I should do that too, or you're not willing to go down that path?
Look at how Ariel's trying to pry it out and make him get a controversial statement so he can get in trouble with the UFC. This guy is not a real friend. You can't trust him.
Right now, you want to be in the UFC. You just want to have a good working relationship and be offered fights, because you did say you haven't been offered a fight, and contractually you're supposed to be offered 3 a year.
Yeah, I want to be treated fairly, and I want to be treated like I am. Are we not all independent contractors? I just feel like they've been treating me, Ariel, like an employee. You know, I want to wrestle against everybody RAF has to offer. You know, I want to wrestle against Sarukian. You know, that's a guy I used to beat up on all the time at ATT. You know, he was a little understudy to me, who he used to come train just because he wanted to get beat up by me in the gym. So that's someone who I kind of want to expose to the world and beat his ass on the RAF mats. But, you know, the UFC is blocking that right now. They said no active UFC fighters are allowed to go against each other. So I just feel like that's a little unfair. You know, I want to be treated like an independent contractor. If I want to go paint this person's house, let me go paint this person's house too. Don't restrict me and tell me whose house I can't paint. So I just want to earn, make money, do good business, Ariel, and be a good person, because that's how we'll be judged at the end of this.
I've heard that too, and that's a bummer, obviously, because I saw the tweet from Hamzat saying he wanted to wrestle you in RAF, and so does that mean no chance? Like that can't even be explored?
I think it could be explored. We're trying to find ways. I really want to go up against Cumshot. You know, I wanted to fight him obviously a couple years ago, but now he's in a different weight class, and you know, time's passed. So I would love to wrestle against Cumshot in RAF. I think it'd be a highly entertaining match. The press conference would be fire, and you know, I think we could give the fans a real treat for freestyle wrestling. So I think it could be explored. I'm going to figure out some ways. I'm going to talk to Hunter obviously in Miami in a couple weeks, and you know, if they can't bring meaningful fights to me, then they need to let me have meaningful wrestling matches in RAF.
One that potentially could be explored and would be massive for RAF is you versus George St. Pierre. How real are these talks? I've heard you mention his name, mention interest and whatnot, but George has kind of stayed out of competition. He's kind of said like he's done and he doesn't really want to do this sort of thing. Is there any sort of activity, any sort of momentum into making this?
Yeah, there was definitely a little traction, a little momentum. You know, after I said that, you know, he was ironically in the wrestling.
Get him, twin. Get him.
One huge shot. Or is there respect between them? There's only one Tyson and one Kalshi. Get off!
She's on me like I'm famous. She don't know me yet. Yeah, I'm somebody. But who the fuck is that? Been me, you feel me from the
No bullshit. No bullshit. Listen, if I'm looking a little weird right now, it's because I got jet lag. I'm
Showbiz, you always looking a little weird with them eyes.
still recovering
Old lemur looking man.
from the jet lag. I just got in early this morning. Hungover. I got to hang out. Hey, listen, I'm out of there. But I got to bring you guys the news. In this video, we're going to talk about what really happened at that press conference. Xander Zayas versus Jerome Boots Ennis. I was there doing the Black Tours. I was at the press conference and everything.
Second fight into his career, junior middleweight, trying to become a unified champion here.
That's me,
Hey, yo, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Here we go.
I'm going to tell you guys what really happened there. Also, we got to talk about Anthony A.J. Joshua versus Tyson Fury. Hit the Tyson Bell. No boy, John. They said that is next. Anthony Joshua is actually talking about fighting Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, immediately next, and then Tyson Fury. But we'll talk about that. Also, we'll talk a little Chisora, too. Derek Chisora. A few of you guys are asking me, break down how Derek Chisora looked. Not just how Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder looked. Let's talk about Derek Chisora. Okay. Hit the Tyson Bell. But first, let's talk about this, the fight. DAZN has partnered up with TNT Sports. Got a new series called The Fight starting July 4th. Listen, War Room. It feels so good that we are a part of the winning movement, the boxing revolution. Listen, we're talking about going back to like the days of Friday night fights where you have a series and there's fights. It's just on. This fight, you can expect another damn fight. You can expect another damn fight. Now, as a regular thing in partnership with DAZN and TNT Sports, the movement is crazy because DAZN is already with Amazon Prime as well. So this is just a crazy movement. And listen, War Room, the movement is even greater. Did you see Tyson Fury and Kyle Shee?
There's only one Tyson and one Kalshi. Get off!
The movement is crazy. The movement, listen, bro, the War Room, we move the needle.
I'm going
Back to Kelly.
Kalshi available in all 50 states, the biggest prediction market in the world. And don't forget, if you want to try it, hit the link in the description box below and use the promo code SHOWBIZ to get $10 on your $10 trade.
I'm going back to
Kalshi. Now let's talk. Let's talk about what really happened in that damn press conference. Listen, By the time the press conference was going on, and Jerome Boots Ennis was in a lather, okay? Because in my opinion, Boots Ennis, he won the press conference. Hit the Tyson bell. Jerome Boots Ennis was in a lather in that press conference. By that time, I
see right here. You're not supposed to let no man touch you with his finger like this. I'm perceiving that as a threat. Anybody should as well.
already done the Black Two Sugars with the both of them. All right. We were breaking down tape. We were doing a lot of things, all right, before the press conference. So by that time, both Xander Zayas and Boots, they were in a lather, okay? Let's start with Boots. When I was talking to Boots, Boots had me fired up. He had my blood boiling because he just sounded like he was dialed in to whoop Xander Zayas' ass. And he was talking about knocking him out face to face. I'm looking at Boots Ennis, and he's telling me in my eyes, I'm going to knock him out. I was talking about things that Xander Zayas possessed, things that I thought was better than Virgil Ortiz, which he actually agreed. He said Xander Zayas will pose more problems to him than Virgil Ortiz. You guys will see the Black Two Sugars. I don't want to give it away. But the energy that Boots Ennis was giving me, I was like, okay, he's violent. And Boots Ennis is trying to make a statement. Now, when talking to Xander Zayas, he sounded as confident. Xander Zayas, number one, he's bigger than Boots. I mean, I was right there. Now the face off or whatever, you know, he looks slightly bigger, but I was right next to them. Xander Zayas is bigger than Boots. All right. And Xander Zayas was saying a lot of things about Boots where he thinks he's going to capitalize on things he just thinks he does better than Boots and that he has better than all of Boots' prior ops. And Xander Zayas meant that shit from the bottom of his heart. You know, what had me curious about this whole thing before the press conference, and I asked Xander, why would you want to fight Boots, number one? And number two, how do you get that across the line? How does Top Rank say, yeah, let's do it? You guys got to wait for the Black Two Sugars for that. But in that room, dealing with those two and their team, I could feel the aura from their team. They were extremely, both of them, equally confident. Now, they took some media pictures, and Boots Ennis kept all his clothes on, right? Doesn't mean much. The one thing I think it means that you can take from that isn't that he's out of shape or anything, but he doesn't want to show you anything. Kind of reminds me of Shakur Stevenson. Whereas Xander Zayas, he took his shirt off and everything, and he's in fantastic shape. I heard somebody in the press conference say, oh, he looking a little chubby. Not at all. Xander Zayas has a six-pack and everything. I saw him. I just saw him. He was in fantastic shape. So when I'm looking at the press conference and that stare down, yo, it was a 5-minute long ass stare down, and they're staring at each other. They get into a bit of a shoving match. And I want to give you guys some insight on that too. Xander Zayas didn't have like a real problem with Boots Ennis touching his belt. He didn't.
That's where he messed up.
I know that because in our Black Two Sugars, Xander Zayas, he lets me hold both the titles, the entire Black Two Sugars. It's a beautiful thing. I've never been a unified champion. I was for the Black Two Sugars. I'm holding the titles. He let me say, you want to hold them? I'm like, yeah. I have them on my, and I'm talking to him the whole time, holding the titles. It is a beautiful Black Two Sugars. So he doesn't have a problem with you touching his title. Xander Zayas had a problem with Boots trying to do it to disrespect him. That's why he got pissed. It wasn't, you know, they say don't touch the title.
It's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Titles is bad luck and stuff like that. He doesn't believe in it. But the fact that Boots thought that would irritate him and he did it to disrespect him, then I'm not going to let you disrespect me. That's why that happened. And Boots Ennis, though, I was right there. I was right there. I saw him poking on purpose to get that reaction. So Xander, you got to watch out because Boots Ennis is seeing what can make you turn up. And he's like, I got you. On how to respond to you, how to counter you, right? What triggers you? Because here's the thing about Boots Ennis. Though he's in his prime, he's only 28. He still has been in the game and lived life longer, right? Xander Zayas has so much testosterone, that young testosterone. He's still 23. Boots is still a senior to him. So he knows with the maturity, I can get him going. So I think he was trying to do all of that to see what buttons he can push. And don't be surprised if Jaron Boots Ennis is pushing buttons leading up all the way to the fight, all the way to the weigh-in, right? Every press conference, seeing what he can do to push buttons. That's what you do when you are the more experienced fighter. Now, let's talk about what Eddie Hearn said here.
We need a warm-up fight before we fight Tyson Fury, because AJ's coming off the accident, he's rehabilitating his body, etc. We'll take Deontay Wilder as that warm-up fight.
We'll take Deontay Wilder as that warm-up fight.
Okay. And then we'll fight Tyson Fury in December.
Pretty much calling Deontay a warm-up.
Yeah.
Eddie.
Tyson Gypsy King Fury, though, he said he wants it earlier. He's talking about the summer. Check out what Tyson Fury said.
All goes well on Saturday night. Yeah. What is the long-term plan in this boxing game?
After everything goes well on Saturday night, I want to fight Joshua next in the summertime. And I would advise him not to be running away, not to want interim fights in between. Let's get the fight on. It's been 10 years in the making. Now's the time.
Hit the Tyson bell. Either way, you can tell that they have plans to face each other. They're talking and they have plans to face each other. Now, Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder can stop all that shit like they did before. Don't forget, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury were this close to fighting for undisputed, right, in Saudi Arabia. But Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder had that arbitration and came in between. This time, his arbitration could be his right hand because it looks like Anthony Joshua and Wilder's going to fight. So Wilder is going to try to not stop their fight. He's going to try to stop AJ. Because Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder said himself,
all Wilder could really do is stop people. He barely boxes.
That he's on a title run. He's trying to become champion again.
Is that the fight you want next, Deontay?
I'm ready for whoever. You know, it's whoever. As long as these guys is in the heavyweight division, I'm here. You know, like I said, you can call me Mr. Clean because I want to clean up the whole division.
But put a pin in that.
Corny as sad.
Derek Chisora. And for my shorts guy, I want you to clip this because I didn't give a detailed breakdown of Derek Chisora and his performance. And the question was, should Derek Chisora retire?
Who thinks he shouldn't retire?
Let me put it this way. After looking at Derek Chisora, retire if you want to. I don't think it's a must that he should retire. I know you guys are going to trip out in the comments. I know, but hear me out. The fight ended in a split decision victory for Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. And honestly, from what I can recall, I don't think there was an actual knockdown in the fight. I think Wilder pushed him both times that he hit the deck, and I think Wilder tripped on Chisora's foot when he hit the deck. I'm not sure if there was a true...
That definitely looks like a slip from sweat on the ground.
You got hurt knockdown that happened in that fight. Also, with it being a split decision victory, what beat Derek Chisora wasn't Wilder. If you're watching Derek Chisora, in my opinion, what beat you was the condition you were in. Derek Chisora didn't have stamina to deal with Wilder after like the 5th, 6th round. When I looked at Derek Chisora, he was too tired. He was too tired. When he complained about his eye and stuff, right around then, Derek Chisora was too tired. That's why he was easily pushed down. He lost balance. He wasn't on his feet right. So I'm not sure if, you know, the age he's at and stuff like that, you just get tired quicker as a heavyweight.
No duh, you get tired quicker as a heavyweight in general. And the age he's at, he shouldn't even be boxing.
Or if he didn't push himself enough in training camp. To be honest,
he might not even have the ability to push himself because he's so old. Why are you not getting that?
I think Derek Chisora was just in less shape than Wilder. Wilder was in more shape. He can throw punches at a higher velocity longer. He could do things longer. But Derek Chisora was the wing and the dings and the times he got hit and the sloppiness was from exhaustion. If Derek Chisora had more stamina and endurance, it would have been tighter. And he probably would have pulled that fight out. And that's the Black Two Sugars. So should he retire? If he wants. But I still think Derek can possibly beat Big Baby Miller. And I'm not lying to you. If he fought Big Baby Miller.
Oh, he'd be acting like he got Tourette's.
I don't know who wins that fight. If he's in shape. Hey, listen, bro, y'all may think I'm capping. You may think but from what I saw, it doesn't look like Derek was just outboxed as much as he was out of shape. But let me know how you feel in the comments below. Showbiz for adult. Let me know how you felt about that press conference. Tell me if you're excited about the Black Tortugas, because I definitely did that. Let me know how you feel about the Zone War Room and their new partnership with TNT and all those things.
We're about to get into the reason why we're really here, the Shakur Stevenson interview.
I knew he was pro, and he came to one of the amateur tournaments. And when I seen him, I'm like, ooh, there go Bud Crawford. I walked to him, I'm like, yo, I'll fuck you up. I'm playing with him. But then he was like, you won't fuck me up. You better be nice talking shit like that. So then I'm like,
Unguarded. We got another special one for y'all, sponsored by Li Ning, our family over in Beijing. They've been taking good care of us. You know me, as always. We got Quez in the building.
What up? What up?
And today,
can somebody explain to me what the hell a cultural analyst is?
We got a very, very, very special episode for y'all. Y'all know I gotta read my bio so I don't fuck it up. So we got one of the best fighters in the world.
But you don't know Shakur Stevenson's credentials?
World. Newark's on. Hold on, let me read it. Hold on. Newark's on. And stop me, but correct me if I leave anything out or list. BC champion.
So far, I'm unimpressed with this podcast. This is our first time reviewing it.
Undefeated. Two fighters. Shakur Stevenson, welcome to the show.
What up, my guy?
What's up, champ? How you feel, man?
First off, folks come shining like a motherfucker, boy. I'm like a proud uncle with his hope.
I need to go back in my bag. Hold on, you know I like that jewelry shit too. I'm gonna tuck mine up. How you feel, man? You
I'm
good?
good, though. I'm good. I'm good to be here with y'all. You know, that you're an athlete too, so it kind of make it more understandable. You really could understand kind of where I'm coming from, and you know, you set this up, so I respect you too. So appreciate y'all.
All right, but listen though, bro, this ain't no ESPN shit. All right, so we gonna talk some shit. I guess my first thing I want to know. We watched the last fight, one of the best fights that I've seen in recent years, a real masterclass, start to finish. What's obviously I can relate to like the build up to training for the moment, right? You know what I'm saying? But like, what's it like after that? What's the shit that people don't see after you train, you work your ass off, you know what you about to do. But going into that fight, I don't think it was such a landslide of people who thought it was gonna go like that, and then you put that show on. So like once you stand on top of that ring and you have your moment, what's it like after that?
After that shit, it's kind of like you get your adrenaline pumping, you pumped up, and all for that one moment. Like I grinded hard for that one moment, and then after it's like once it cooled down, it's like shit, you just want to be with your family and shit. Like you just want to sit back with your daughter and chill, because in my profession I gotta be away from my child for a certain amount of time. After the fight, it's like shit, I just want to be next to her. Like I don't want to leave her side. So after that shit, I just stay with my family, chill. And now for me, it's like back to the grind, back to working on my craft. I seen some shit in my last fight that I want to work on. So now I'm kind of like working on that and making sure all bases is covered.
So how long before you get back in the gym?
Shit, I'm already back in the gym.
I'm saying like how long from the fight?
After the fight,
like how long you take off?
I took off like a month.
Oh, that's good. That ain't bad.
What did you do during that month?
During that month, I just played the game. I played Call of Duty, 2K and shit. So
that's what I'm saying. Y'all gotta be locked in. So like when we won the championship, I partied the whole summer. Whole summer. I'm talking about 3-4 months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But obviously, and you fighting what, once, twice a year?
Yeah, once, twice a year. But me, I don't like partying. Like I ain't really kind of party type of dude. Like shit, when motherfuckers like, you gotta realize when you go to a club, it's just like you gonna play music and everybody around dancing and shit. But for me, that ain't really. I like going to the gym. I like playing competitive games. I go play pickleball and ping pong or basketball.
Yeah, I know you think you can hoop a little bit.
I really could hoop.
I know you think you can hoop a little bit. I seen your jumper. I already seen your tape. That's why I ain't sweating on that shit you talking about. But I ain't gonna hold you though. That's one of the things I respect about you. And I was talking to Mark about this. I feel like, cause you are 28 now. Yeah, so I'm 32. So I feel like I seen a generation of like guys that when I was growing up, you had to fight. That was like more the crop of boxers. It was like they had to fight. And now I feel like it's guys in the sport that's just doing it for money or for like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see
The guys
you
is
in the club. I don't want to see you partying. Like that just it don't go hand in hand.
the guys that's doing it for the money is because they have to fight. If you want to get a lot of money, you're not going to choose fighting as the first option.
And with me, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's always gonna be slippage. Not that you can't do both, but like I like the guys that's like true to the craft. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
me.
And I feel like you one of those guys, and it shows. Other thing I was gonna ask you, do you let your daughter go to the fights?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason why I do, cause I'm like 1,000,000% confident in like, yeah. But like, if I was a guy that's like not
Brawler,
that good,
yeah.
I wouldn't let my daughter come.
Yeah.
Cause if I get knocked out, my daughter gotta
That's
watch that
crazy.
shit. Hell
That's
nah.
crazy.
But I believe in myself, so I'm cool with it. Like I
Did
know.
you and for those, we got a lot of casual fans, people that don't even watch boxing. So y'all need to go back and watch his last fight against T.O. But did you know it was gonna go like that? Did it go how you thought it was gonna go?
I knew it could go like that,
Yeah.
but did I know? Nah, hell no. I thought it was like, I was nervous. I'm like, shit, this
Yeah.
T.O., like I've been around him for years. I know he the truth. I know he gonna come fully prepared, but I knew like stylistically, I'm the better fighter. Like I always been better than he was, but he was a good fighter to where you know you gotta respect him. But nah, I didn't. It was like 50-50.
And a good athlete in general.
That one interview when you were like, "Oh, I'm scared. I gotta fight." How did that come about? You was like, you know what I'm saying? When he popped this shit, or
He was just like making it seem like he gonna knock me out. Like, all right, bro, like he trying to scare me or intimidate me. And it's like, bro, I don't really get intimidated. Like, I know like me at my best versus any of the guys you name, I'm coming out on top. I don't care who it is. Like,
let me ask you real quick, like as far as like just like confidence and shit like that, do you respect the fighter more that don't talk a lot or the ones that really pop their shit? You know what I'm saying? Because you see it like in both kind of spectrums.
I don't think like it don't make a difference because like certain fighters, like if you think of like Floyd Mayweather, he pop it, but he could back that shit up.
Yeah.
And then you think of like me, I'm kind of like humble, but sometimes I may pop it, but it's just dependent. But I could back it up too. But I'll be probably more like gotta watch the quiet ones, like the ones that's just quiet and sitting there. Them the ones you really gotta
Can't
watch.
read them, yeah.
But like I think it don't really matter as long as you put the work in, and you the best, it's gonna show up.
Going back to the last fight again, I feel like I seen a lot of Bud in that fight. Am I tripping? Like the way you stood in there, like, you know what I'm saying? Just from my eyes, just watching it from home. And obviously I know.
I see where he coming from. You could definitely say that.
Oh, how much you have him and Dre around. My only two pro fights that I ever been to was Bud and Spence and then Bud and Canelo.
Yeah.
So like watching it live and then I'm watching you and I'm like, this ain't the same shit I've been seeing. Cause I ain't gonna lie, a couple of them fights you had, I'm over that motherfucker like, all right, bro, come on with this defense. I'm trying to see some action, bro. Like, cause you capable of that. Like you got that, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that fight was like, all right, nah, I'm gonna give you both offense and defense.
I think it do got something to do with Bud because I got to watch his situation. But it's also me. Like I took it like for what it was. So like certain fights, how you saying like, oh come on, certain times I'll probably take it a certain way and like I don't take it as serious as I should. And I come in that bitch and I'm okay. I know I'm gonna beat this.
You're gonna beat him.
I know I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
So with him, I was kind of nervous of the fact like it's a risk. Like
yeah,
nigga, you could lose. Like nigga could fuck around, catch you with a shot and hurt you or something. But I just took it 100% serious and I made sure all bases was covered. And yeah, it probably like it had something to do with Bud because I watched the way he took his shit. I watched the way he took Spence. I watched the way he took Canelo, and I'm like, shit, okay, I see what you got to do to get to the greatness point. So I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. At this current point in time, there's no fighter in the world that could beat me.
No, I
unguarded.
believe you. Yeah, I believe you. I believe you.
Man, stand up. I don't got that.
And we're gonna talk about the division and what's next for you. How did we're gonna go?
Oh, he sound like he hot.
Back a little bit. How did those relationships come about with you and Dre, and then you and Bud?
Shit, Dre was my favorite fighter when I was just a little kid. Like I used to come up and watch Andre Ward, and he was the last one who won the Olympic gold medal. So my goal was to always be the next person to win the gold medal. I came up short and got the silver, but
That's you was crying and shit, huh?
hell yeah. Niggas definitely clip that shit.
You know, he ain't never gonna let you live that down.
I fuck with it. I like that shit.
Nah, I feel it though.
Me, I want to say I met him because he was sparring against a dude that I knew. I mean, that I was close with, one of my bros, Antoine Douglas. And I went to the training camp and I met Dre and I got to watch him spar, watch him train. And I'm like, shit, this nigga nice. But then we built a relationship far after that, and he always stuck with me. But me and Bud, how we met is like on some competitive shit. Like, I knew he was pro, and he came to one of the amateur tournaments. And when I seen him, I'm like, ooh, there go Bud Crawford. I walked to him, I'm like, yo, I'll fuck you up. I'm playing with him. But then he was like, you won't fuck me up. You better be nice talking shit like that. So then I'm like, I'm the best fighter in this tournament. Like, come tomorrow and watch me fight. I'm like probably like 14, 15 years old. He came the next day and watched me fight. He like, oh, this nigga cold. But I continued to pop shit to him during that time. And then I finally got to spar the nigga. And he got off of me.
Yeah.
He got off of me.
How old was you then?
I probably was, what, 16, 17?
Damn.
When I finally got to spar him, but he beat me up.
Yeah.
But it was a learning experience because it's like, once he beat me up, I'm like, damn, I'm so used to whooping everybody else's ass.
Yeah.
I'm not used to somebody else whooping my ass. So I'm like, shit, I got to get him back. I got to see him
get better.
You damn near got to go through that too. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if you just go throughout your whole career just whooping motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Somebody damn near got to put pause on you.
Facts. I think that's what kind of made me into who I am. Like so many rounds with Bud. Like if when Bud fought Spence, I ain't gonna say I was the main sparring partner, but I know like I for sure helped him a lot.
Yeah. Did you get your get back yet?
I mean, it's fun. It's me and Bud.
I know how y'all do. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can pop shit to each other.
Nah, it's
you
good
know
work.
what I'm
It's good
saying?
work.
Yeah.
It's good work. Actually, he sparred me before the Teal fight while he was retired.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
No, that's dope. So we talked
And Bud describes Shakur as his little brother, so they really are cool.
about the Olympics. And growing up, Andre was your best fighter, your favorite fighter growing up. How walk us through your upbringing? Like, how did you start boxing? You know what I'm saying? What was that like? Was you always in the gym, turning to it from going to Olympic to pro to like? Give us that little timeline.
Shit. My upbringing, shit. I'm the oldest of 9.
Damn.
So I'm raised in Newark, New Jersey. That's the trenches. But the oldest of 9. My grandfather, he was a boxing coach, and he had he played like little, what is it, like not real baseball, but like rec league baseball. But he brung his fighters to his baseball game when I was 5, and I'm like, shit, I met them. Shit, it's cool as hell that they boxers.
Yeah.
So I want to say the next day I asked him to take me to the gym. He took me to the gym and shit.
I actually never heard this story from Shakur before. He never mentioned his granddad. He really talked about Coach K.
You're sparring. I saw niggas hitting the bag. I just felt like it was cool as hell that they had hands. I'm watching. I'm like, oh, I want to learn how to box.
And how old was you at that point?
5.
5 years old.
And
Yeah.
every day he took me to the gym. But after that, it's like I started winning on a local level. But then I went to the nationals and I would lose. And when I started losing at the national, I'm like, what the fuck I keep losing? But I realized I wasn't really training that hard. I was just moving off of pure talent. So then I started like training and getting in shape and not getting tired. I started winning nationals. I started winning overseas. Then I just couldn't be beat at a certain point in time, and I started running the amateurs at that time. But as far as my upbringing, bro, I've been boxing my whole life. I'm 28 now. I started boxing at 5. What's that? 23 years.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy.
um,
Was you?
Go
ahead,
on my
Quest.
fault. At what age did you be like, you know what, I'm finna become the best in the motherfucking world? You know what I'm saying? Like that was your mindset.
at 14. At 14, I had went overseas, and all of my teammates they lost. We went to Russia. They lost. I won the whole tournament. And after the tournament, I'm like, damn, I should never lose in the States. If
Right.
all of
You all
these
the way
niggas
in
supposed to be
Russia,
the
sure.
best and they lost. So
Damn. They
at
had
that
you in
point
Russia
time,
at 14?
yeah.
That shit crazy.
Oh Lord. I was gonna say, was you one of them kids that was fighting all day and shit, like outside of school, the neighborhood, shit like that? Or you was just mainly in the gym with
I
it?
had some fights, but nah, I wasn't just OD fighting.
Yeah.
People respected me. Like at a certain point in time, it's like I started getting in newspapers. Like niggas start knowing what I do, so
Yeah,
they
they
already
weren't trying
respect
it,
me.
yeah.
Like shit, I ain't fighting that little nigga.
Yeah, I ain't trying
Yeah,
it.
the trenches, they like protected you type shit too, away from like trouble, shit like that.
For sure. It's like a lot of my family who kind of kept me within on the path. And actually my grandfather, my coach today, he the main person who's kind of like pushed boxing. Even though I would drift off and want to play basketball, football, he pushed that shit OD. Like, oh, boxing, this us. This is what we gonna do. And shit, I appreciate him for that.
Did you play other sports in high school?
Yeah, I play football.
Play football. What position?
I play wide receiver.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I only played JV though, so
Yeah.
got 2 touchdowns, then I got kicked off the team.
What you get kicked off the team for?
Cause I was practicing with the varsity team. I'm like, shit, I'm JV. They asked to me, so I want to practice with the.
They took it upon himself to go to the varsity team.
Yeah, but the coach got mad at me. He like, yo, we over here practicing. You not with us. He like, blah blah blah. Give me 100 push-ups with your equipment on. Like, bro, I'm not. Nigga said, take your shit off. You gotta go then. I'm like, I bet. Fuck you then.
Yeah.
But the next time I seen him, I was walking out for my fight in North New Jersey. I seen the coach. He kicked me off the team. I'm like, yeah, nigga, you gotta watch me.
Yeah, spin the
I'm lit
block.
now, nigga, for sure.
That's hard. So you went, boom, your first pro. What was your first belt like? What was that? What did that feel like when you won your first title?
Shit, that shit felt amazing. Cause it's like when you win your first world title, that's the shit that you really like hunting for. That's the shit you want the most. So now winning titles kind of regular, but your first one is like shit. It was a different feeling, like you on top of the world. Like that's how I felt. Like right after, I'm like, shit, I'm on top of the world. I'm him. Like,
what you think about this belt shit? About paying for the belts and all that
man, that
shit
shit
now?
lame.
You think it's gonna change though now, or it's just like it is what it is?
I got stripped because of that shit. Like, I don't understand how I get stripped. And I had a conversation with the people who run the belt organizations before I even fought Teofimo. I'm like, yo, I'm going up in weight just for this fight. I want to come back down in weight. Like, oh, you got my word. We good. On the phone. This is a real conversation. I done met with this dude in Houston. I done sat down, did dinner with him, talked to him. Like, I'm thinking he gonna be solid about it, but as soon as he started beefing with Bud, dude just started cooking me. He said, oh, I need $150,000 at this point in time, right now. Okay, you ain't gonna give me that money? Well, now we taking your belt, we stripping you. And this on.
It's like a tax almost.
And then now, I mean, I looked at it like you already whooped. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You already the champ. Take the belt. Like, go ahead. Everybody already
That's how I
knows.
felt.
Yeah.
But now that it's gone, I'm like, damn. Niggas done took my belt, bro. Like, I wanted my belt.
That's a fact.
Yeah, no, it's damn near like a tax almost. Like they just want that bread. That's what it seemed like.
Yeah, they really like sticking fighters up though. Like we putting in all this hard work, all this pain. We going to live boxing and we go risk our life in the ring, and then it's like we gotta pay y'all a certain amount of. Why am I paying y'all, bro? What did y'all do? I worked hard for this. What did you do for this money that I'm getting with my check, bro?
Do you think it's too many belts?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So
For
what?
sure.
So what? How many should it like? What? How would you
It
change
should be
it?
one belt. If you want the best to fight the best, it should be one belt. That means once it's
That's the thing. Boxing, they don't want the best to fight the best at all.
One belt, everybody got to fight everybody. They want to be champion. That's how I think.
That's that business shit, though. You know how that shit get
Hell
tricky.
yeah, everybody trying to get their.
Everybody got to get their money.
So let's talk division now. You like the weight that you? What weight do you want to fight at? Like, what's next for you?
What weight do I want to fight? I don't know, bro. I'm just cruising probably through 35, 40. I really don't want to fight 40, but then it's like I do want to show niggas like.
Yeah.
And do you think the
like that.
expectations at you already did like 140, right? Expectations like, all right, man, he can do 140. If you go down, people gonna be like, why the fuck you ain't stay at 140? You know what I mean?
Nah, because there's some good fighters at 135 too. So even if they like at the end of the day, anything we do, like it's like people gonna say something anyway. So regardless of whatever they say, fuck them. But as far as like, it's some good fighters at 35 too, and it's some good fighters at 40. So it just depends on what all makes sense.
And how so for the average motherfucker that don't know how this shit work, how do these fights get made? Like, do you walk in there and be like, this is what I want, or they put something together, or you just wait for the offer to come across the table, or like, how do that go?
Man, right now, boxing is at a great space where it's like you got this guy, Turkey, that's from
Turkey
Saudi.
putting that bag up.
Man.
You feel me? So any fight that can be made could happen through him. He's gonna pay you a big bag. And he's gonna make the fights that the fans want to see. So how it works is you tell Turkey, let's get it banging. Shit. 9 times out of 10, if he can do it, because there's been some fights that he tried for me that I done asked for that haven't got done. So
who you asked for?
Oh, just ask that shit. Put him on the spot.
I can't really say because it's like I ain't trying to be.
You
I ain't trying to even go there
like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying, who you want? Who next? Like, what we doing?
Who I want?
Like,
I can't
who
call
wanna
nobody
see?
out. I can't call nobody
So,
out.
you're
I
not
let
gonna,
everybody
so who
call
called
me
you
out.
out so far?
Who called me out? Everybody.
Everybody.
Who ain't
That's
called me
worth
out? Everybody just saying, "Oh, I want to fight Shakur" because they seen what I did with Tio. My name buzzing, so.
Yeah, you the hottest thing.
But I
smoking
can't
right
really
now in
call
the sport.
fighters out right now, cause like they gonna clip it, and when they clip it, it's like they gonna make it look a certain way. So.
Real quick, right? So obviously you and Bud real close. Do you see him step back in the ring if the purse right?
No. Hell no.
Over with.
Nah, he's stubborn like me. Like me and him kind of like similar when it comes to stubbornness. So I know that when his mom made up, unless you say the craziest,
that bag in
it gotta be the craziest number. You better say $1 billion. He probably gonna jump up like shit.
I don't know though, bro. 300, 300.
And you got the utmost confidence, like you say, like shit. I'm finna go. I'm finna.
He believe in so too. He,
for sure.
me and him similar, but I just know like his stubbornness is like he already made his mind up. Like when you make your mind up as a stubborn person, it's like
you got to see it through.
I can't go back on my word with myself.
I don't even know who he would fight at this point though.
Is there
who y'all want to see him fight?
Tank.
I don't fucking.
You just want to see him in the ring.
I'm just saying.
Facts. I ain't gonna hold you. I know he like a boxing purist and all that shit, but like he getting older. I wouldn't mind him doing some of them crossover joints and beating the fuck out one of them Conor McGregor's or something like that and getting a bag. I know
making
that's
money from it, but like
you know what
Bud
I
ain't
mean?
like that, bro. Like
nah, I get it. I respect that though.
Bud more so like the person he is like he doing it for what he want. Like he ain't gonna do it just cause of shit around.
Would you do that?
Hell yeah, me, yeah. Go make an easy bag, being up somebody that don't know what I know, yeah.
Yeah, go and get that bag. It's easy though at that point, especially if you could cherry pick it.
Yeah.
Before we move on from that, you said you ain't gonna call it out, but is we ever gonna see the Tank fight or Devin Haney or somebody like that?
I mean, you gotta ask them. Like at the end of the day, I told y'all I'm willing to fight whoever. It don't matter. Whatever name you name, I know I can beat them. So it's all up to them. I'm here. I'm not going nowhere.
Who you think the biggest fight would be though? Like the biggest fight.
The biggest
for
fight
you right now.
For me, probably dude that you just named, dude.
Dude, dude ass. Hey, come on, man. Come on with that shit.
Okay, cool. I mean, that's what I want to see. I want to see that joint. Who I gotta call Turkey, make it happen.
Shit.
So let me get his number.
I got you.
Yeah, we can make it happen. So speaking of that, I know you had a lot of back and forths on Twitter and shit like that. How you go about that? Because now, only reason why I'm gonna say this is, this is my first year with KD, right? So from before I met KD, And I used to see him be on Twitter all the time. Be like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, why do he go back and forth with these people and all this shit, right? And then now that I'm with him every day, it's like, it's regular though. Like, it ain't nothing. Like, he ain't tripping. He might just be chilling. Boom, send a tweet. He put the phone down. You know what I'm saying? How do you approach that? It's like, is it more so you feel misunderstood? You want to get your point across, or you really just talking shit?
Nah, before I used to be kind of like, cause like you in a situation where you know you the best. Like, you know deep down, like, I'm the one. Like, that's how I'm feeling.
Right.
But then you got people who just saying all types of bullshit. So during that point of time, I used to feed into it to where I probably shouldn't have been feeding into it, but I couldn't help it. Like, I couldn't, my passion for my craft and who I am and I know what I can do just pushed it, and I fought back at niggas. Like, I always did that. But now that I done elevated in my life and like changed certain things around, I try my best not to even get into it on the Twitter or all that shit, because I know like people spin that shit. They gonna spin it and turn people against you. Like, I watched the entire world turn against me from even, and I don't got no beef with these dudes no more. The Cameron and Mace dudes, like, I don't got no beef. I know they just was doing their job. But during that point of time, you know what I mean? People like, I felt switched up on me. I'm like, damn, like, nigga, I just won my fight. I didn't just have a super bad night. It was like, I probably could have done more, but like, that's the criticism within myself. But why I gotta deal with so many motherfuckers saying, oh, Shakur not that good, Shakur not this, Shakur, oh, emotional. But I'm getting all this, and it's all coming from this one podcast to where that, like, the narratives just got super strong. So during that point in time, I was fucked up in the head. I'm like, damn, like,
Yeah, he's crashing out.
I'm that nigga, bro.
Yeah,
like, how y'all
speak up? Yeah, I know.
But now it's like, look back. Like, even when Cameron said it, if y'all go look back at the tape, he said, you should go fight Tiafimo so he could knock your block off and send you back to Irvington or some shit like that. And I'm like,
God damn.
Okay. But now that we did it, go back to it. Go back to it. Let's see what's said.
Since you had that fight?
Nah, they've been trying to get me on the show, but nah, I ain't had no conversation.
So that was one. I remember that one. Are you figuring out like how to manage it better with the phone, shit like that? Is this shit you going to looking for? Or you just taking it, I read come across your phone like it is what it is?
I just know shit lame.
Yeah.
Like, all of this shit be kind of like, not y'all shit, but
no, you
all
can call
of,
our
like,
shit
the
lame
world.
too. I just started doing this shit. You can call it lame.
Nah, this shit ain't lame. This shit ain't lame. This shit ain't lame. It's cool. But like, the world and like how they perceive things and how like it's just so negative. Like, everybody in the world is 95% negative. So now I'm at a point where it's like, fuck them. They gonna be who they is. It's not gonna stop. It's gonna get worse and worse. So just ignore that shit. Focus on my craft. And like, this version of me is just hard to deal with.
They just waiting on you to respond anyway, and majority of the time it's about how you respond. If you say fuck them, it is what it is. They gonna, after 2 days, before it's literally social media is lit for 48 hours. They gonna forget about that shit.
Then you gotta realize too, and this for like the young kids coming up, when you respond to certain shit, you make it bigger. Like, you making it like something. Like, it don't even have to be nothing. It's gonna get way bigger once you say something, especially when you're
He probably wish he didn't say anything with the Cam situation.
somebody. So for young people, ignoring shit is some of the best shit in the world. Minding your business, focusing on you.
Take a whole bunch of fucking goddamn it self-discipline though, too, because it be some shit that just like eat at your soul. You be like, I gotta say something.
yeah.
You got, I see you got some of your team here today. Is it somebody that talk you off the ledge sometimes, or you ready to spaz out like, all right, bro, you tripping? Like, cause I ain't gonna hold you. The camera and shit, I felt where you was coming from, but I'm like, all right, bro, like, come on now, you the champ. Like, you, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta realize how it played out. I felt like it played out to where like I responded with Cameron was like, yo, get your ass in the boxing ring so you could see like how it is. And he responded with, yo, I slapped the shit out of you.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. That's when it's like, all right, now you took it too far. Like,
yeah.
But like I said, all that shit in the past, but like somebody on my team that said something, everybody really told me. 100 people on my side that was telling me how to move today, how I'm moving now. But it all was within myself. Like I had to have self conversations with myself and reflect and see where I went wrong. Why did I reply here? Why did I do this? And once I seen it, I'm like, damn, I'm tweaking. Like I gotta be more like how you say self-discipline.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
have
No,
that
that's
discipline
that's
within
deep
yourself.
though. I go through it. Trust me, I go through it all the time. I be wanting to spaz out, and we can't really do it. You know what I mean? We gotta hold ourselves to like this public image a little bit more in the league. But I also found the older that I got, like I would be more emotional towards things that I wasn't comfortable with myself too. You know what I'm saying? So like once I finally felt like, all right, I ain't got nothing else to prove, then I could get the mellow shit where it's like, all right, I'm chilling. Like, don't nothing you can't say nothing to me because the work speak for itself.
Yeah.
Whereas like before, it's like if I know I ain't doing right or I know I ain't play my best or this, then the third is like something you say can make me flip a little bit more. Do you feel like you more relaxed now after you put on that performance? Because that performance was a little bit different. Not that you've had great performances. You've had very technical, great shutouts, like, but that shit was just a little different. That felt like a statement.
I think I was more relaxed before that. Like
Mm.
before the fight, I was like at a point where I'm like, I felt like there's nothing else you could have said to me. Like I done heard it all already. Like there's no worse than pillow fist and runner. I seen all the running emojis. So there's nothing else you really could do to me. Like I done heard it all. So it made me be like, all right, fuck that shit. Let me just focus on the craft and stay focused and not get distracted with shit that don't matter. But
And
yeah,
you
for
whipped
sure.
his ass from start to finish.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You ain't
that
got
was
that
crazy.
let up.
And shout out to Teal too. Like I think he's a great fighter, but that was a very one-sided.
It was my
fight.
moment. It was my moment. Like if you watch right before the fight, watch when he come in the ring. He comes in the ring, he walks around, and if you see the way that I'm looking at him, you knew where the night was going. Like as I'm bouncing, I'm looking dead at him, straight in his eyes. He look away. I already knew right
Got
then and
him.
there, like
Nah, he
night
burnt me.
over.
I'll tell you two things. We can move on from that shit. But he burnt me with the shit he was saying at the press conference.
Oh
The
man.
motherfucking
And then all that goddamn dancing, man. I'm like, yo, man, yo.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie to y'all though, no bullshit. The dancing kind of made me a little nervous. I'm like, why the fuck is he so happy? Like he acting like he about to whoop my ass.
trying to throw you off with that shit for sure. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. If he would have danced like that and then came out and did his thing, that would have been crazy. That would have been crazy. I was sitting there, I said, this motherfucker, we was sitting there watching, like, he keep all this goddamn dancing, bro.
Yeah.
But that was a dope fight to see.
Now tell the truth though, respect him and I appreciate him for the opportunity too.
Yeah.
So.
No, that was a great fight. Speaking of that, because it take two.
Yeah.
It take two. Dude, is it somebody that be ducking? Like, have you encountered that part? Like, you trying to make a fight happen and you don't feel like it's being reciprocated? Because there's a lot of different ways to duck fights now.
That's why I try not to get into that. Like, cause like fans know how to turn that shit into like on you. So like from a business aspect, fighters can do certain things from a business wise. And if they play with social media the right way, they can spin it and put it on you. When it's like, bro, y'all know I want this fight. Like, I'm 100% sure I want this fight, but I try not to even get into it no more. It's like, whatever, like, we're going to try to make these fights happen behind closed doors instead of really coming to the media with it because fans are so easy to be tricked.
So when somebody do come to you as far as like a fighter that want to fight you, what do you take into account to actually want to proceed with the fight? You know what I'm saying?
Shit, if you want to fight me, it's like
fuck
this.
It. It is what it is.
I'm different, bro. Like, I'm not the type of nigga you want to just sign up to fight, bro, because you're not going to come out victorious. I don't care who you is, so.
No, but I ain't gonna lie though. You at a point now though where you can't fight everybody though either. Too.
Yeah, that's
like,
that's
some
the
niggas
thing
that
too.
just don't deserve that fight too.
Right.
It's some niggas
You know
that
what I'm
don't
saying?
deserve it, but it's also niggas where like they're not going to be. You're not going to make the most money fighting these niggas. Why am I fighting you if I'm not going to get paid? The notoriety once I beat you is not going to be that. So it's like, what am I fighting you for? Like, so it's certain niggas where like they just calling my name, just be calling my name.
And back to the fans, they gonna be like, why the fuck you fight him? Like this ain't shit, but fuck the fans.
Right.
We're not gonna. I don't want to say because obviously you've been through the fire. We're not gonna keep saying names, but I was wondering how involved you are in the business part, as far as like the promotional aspect of making a fight or that side of it, or it's like I just let my team handle it, and we go from there.
Nah, I'm very involved. Like Jay Prince, my manager.
Mm-hmm.
So
Shout out to Jay Prince.
that's them there. Me and him like so close where it's like, shit, we gonna go over it together.
Right.
We gonna go over it together and we gonna figure out what's the best fight for me to where, you know, even with the TO fight, like it was people within my team and people that didn't think that was a fight that we should just be. I'm like, shit, fuck it. Let's go see what TO about.
Yeah, no, that was smart.
yeah, nah, I'm very involved. Me and Jay sit down and we go over shit and make sure it makes sense.
Right now, what matters more to you? Is it being fucking filthy rich or just being remembered as being like, you know, one of the greatest?
Damn, I ain't gonna lie, that's a good ass question.
That's how you know it's being filthy rich. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't get why you didn't just answer truthfully.
That is a good ass question because it's like being remembered as one of the greatest and like on your craft, the money gonna come with it. But it's like it's some people that I done seen kind of like had a career and they didn't make as much money as they probably could have in their career. And at the end of the day, we going in there risking our life. So we want to come home to a big ass check. We want to come home to being able to live freely. So
people,
I'm gonna have to like pass on that question. It's a hard. I'm gonna answer that question later on. Like it's gonna happen. I'm gonna answer it.
Right. Also, too, like just in the whole aspect of fighting, do you enjoy like the vlog and the entertainment and shit like that too? You know what I'm saying? Because I see that like everybody got a content guy, like vlogging and showing and all that shit. What's your feelings and I guess your thoughts towards that?
Hell no, I don't. I like the like entertaining. Like if we gonna go to a press conference and shit and like the build up and I get to see the person that I'm about to get in the ring with, see what he on. But like I'm like more so like a humble type of person. Like I'd rather just sit at home, chill. So all that shit be kind of like when it's fight time, bro, I'll be ready to get in the ring and just get active.
Yeah.
Like I ain't trying to keep talking. I ain't trying to keep. I'm just let's go. Like it's time, bro. We here. Like I want to win. You're gonna lose. So that's what it is. Like I'm tired of talking. Like my last fight, I was literally like boiling. Like bro, I just want to fight. Like hurry up.
Let's get to it.
As you should be.
How long was that camp?
Shit, 12 weeks. That was the longest camp I ever did.
Damn. And where you did that at?
Vegas.
Vegas, yeah.
Yeah.
You liked it out there?
Hell yeah, for sure. Actually, I went back to something that I used to do because honestly, my best performances came from like when I did my camps out there. So I just did what I used to do and it paid off.
I'm finna put Amuja on the spot. You said you don't fuck with flying.
Hell no. Fuck no. Bro, I be too nervous. Like I'd rather be on the ground. Like keep me driving. I'm about to take a 24-hour trip to Jersey in like a couple of days.
What you mean?
I'm about to get in an RV,
Driving?
lay down in bed and relax.
Oh my God, come on, bro.
No cap.
Ain't nothing gonna happen to you up there, bro.
Bro, I can't do it, bro.
You gotta get over
like
that.
Michael
bro.
Jackson on that goddamn fly. I don't want to fly.
It's too much world out here to live, bro. You gotta. It's a lot of shit you gotta see, man.
Fuck that shit, dog. You in the air, bro. Like, y'all know that, right? Like, niggas is in the air.
Man.
That's crazy.
That's the main thing too. Like, I like to be in control, bro. Like, I don't got no power.
Have you ever sat in the front of the plane? Like, have you ever sat like where the pilots be at?
In a helicopter.
You should do that one time in a plane. I used to be scared of flying, but we fly like fucking 4 times a week, so it ain't nothing I can do about it. But like looking out the front helped me a little bit. And then you talk to pilots and you learn more about flying. I'm telling you, listen, baby girl gonna get old. She gonna want to get damn. You gonna be super rich. She gonna be, Daddy, I want to go to Bali or some shit. You gonna have to jump on that plane. Ain't no RV making it over there.
I ain't
For her
going.
16th birthday, you might be taking her to Paris or some shit.
I'm gonna try to talk her out of that shit.
Oh damn! I'm not talking out of it. Fuck. I thought you were gonna say send somebody with her or something.
No,
I wanted to talk about we was speaking about the training camp thing. Some of the like shit people don't know, like boxing could be expensive. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Facts.
training, upbringing, shit like that.
Facts.
Like, what's some of the ways that you was doing it early on, and then versus like how you do it now? Like, how did you support yourself early on, as far as like training and shit like that?
Early on, shit, versus now. Early on, it's like you gotta like try to cough up a whole bunch of money to like go to the national tournaments, and you're gonna need a hotel, food, and all of that shit. So, especially when you poor, like you ain't really got that much motherfucking money. So, versus now to where you getting these big ass checks, so now you could Airbnb, but it's expensive. How you saying? Like you gotta get an Airbnb, you gotta get a chef, you gotta get a strength coach, you gotta get so many different things, massage lady, stretch person. Like it's just so many different things into going to being great. But yeah, it's hella money. Like I done probably spent 200,000 on a training camp. Like
Yeah, no, real shit. That's I mean, you invested in yourself.
Yeah.
You one of them motherfuckers that just can't have sex and shit like that before a fight, boxers like that?
Yeah, me.
Is that true?
Now I am. Like my last fight is where I'm like, okay, I see the difference now.
You're tired of
I can keep my legs now. All right, I'm gonna make sure I do it for the rest of my career. But before, I used to be on some wild shit. Like I'll fuck around. I want to say I had sex like right before my pro debut.
Little horny
The day
motherfucker.
of.
Yeah, little horny
Okay.
motherfucker. That's crazy.
Babe, don't get me right.
You say you see the difference though now, huh, man.
Nah, I see the difference. So I'm gonna stick with it.
What's some of the other fighters that you like either guys coming up or guys that built a bond with?
You got
That
some young guys under your
that you not dude them. I'm talking about the other guys, that people that you fuck with.
Yeah, people I fuck with. I got my little cousin Zay Pop. My little brother, he here today, Shakir. My other little fighter, my little brother, not my little brother by blood, but my little brother Manny Chance. Y'all already know Keyshawn Davis, he the truth.
Yeah, he put on a show too. That was a good day.
Shit, it's my team and the people surrounding me, we the truth. Like, we just only know how to get better. Like, we gonna work with each other, we gonna spar with each other, and like, you put fire against fire, both of us gonna evolve. So the people around me, that's the people. Ray Savage, he about to fight Oshaki Foster from Houston. So
What you think about Shock Foster like that? You fuck with him?
I think he okay. Yeah, okay.
It is what it is. Fuck. Hey, it is what it is.
I wish we could do that more in basketball, bro. It's like you just gotta pay the respect, even if somebody you don't fuck with. You know what I'm saying? It's like
I think he a good fighter, bro. I really just don't fuck with that nigga. Like,
yeah, no, I know, but you
No
could say
bullshit.
it because you could, you know what I'm saying? Y'all could fight, and basketball is different. Like, it's just more political. It's like you just ain't gonna come out and be like, nah, he trash. Like, I don't fuck with that nigga. He a
that's
hoe.
because y'all really y'all.
Yeah, he a
hooping.
hoe. Like, I don't
It's
fuck
like
with that
these
nigga.
bitches
I
gotta
know.
get thrown.
That shit is
one-on-one. Goddamn, I'm sick.
You almost keep it arms distance on purpose.
But nah, Ray Savage though. Ray Savage, that's who he fighting. Ray Savage, a hell of a fighter.
When is that fight?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
Coming up. My last question on that. What do you, because you was talking about how y'all fight, fire with fire, like making each other better. What do you think makes you the best? Like, what sets you apart?
What sets me apart is my passion. Like I live different than these fighters. Like I'm the type of person, like on a daily basis, I'm just keeping boxing on my TV every day. I like that. Go to the gym, I'm going to do that shit. Like I gotta steal shit. So just my passion and my love for the game. Like people don't have the eye and shit that I got. Like all these fighters, they want to do it, but they act like boxing is like a sport where they got seasons and shit. Like, ain't no seasons in boxing. It's like every day gotta get better every day. And that's how I feel about me. Like I feel like I'm different than them because they don't live the way I live. They don't do the things that I'm doing outside of just getting ready for a fight. I'm still getting ready for the fight. Like right now, I gotta I don't got no opponent. I don't got no, but I'm getting ready.
Right.
I don't know who I'm fighting, what's going. I'm getting better.
Always getting better. When you
Right.
watch tape or when you study, who's some of the people you like to watch?
Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, Terrence Crawford, Pernell Whitaker, Sugar Ray Leonard. Now people that's in boxing right now, I'm gonna say Usyk, Bivol, Ben Rodriguez, Inoue. I like Tio.
Yeah,
Like
Tio. Tio solid. How would you fight that big tall motherfucker, man? How would you fight him, bro? That
nigga's
shit
a
look
cheat
crazy
code.
out
He a
there,
cheat code,
bro.
but you know who gonna beat him? Tell him let him fight Boots. Boots the truth, so tell him let him fight Boots.
That'd be crazy.
Boots.
Set that up.
That'd be
Boots.
crazy. Hey, Turkey.
Set that up.
Boots.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna. Quez, you can take this. We're gonna do a little this or that, a little hot take. We're gonna make you pick between these.
So
some of these things.
We got offense versus defense. You got them. You attacking off rip, or you got them on reserve. And
What you mean like offense versus defense? Like
basically, what's your style?
my style? Defense.
Defense. Okay, gotcha.
It's pretty obvious.
Bud or Andre Ward?
I would never answer this question. I gotta look both of them niggas in the eye.
Yeah. All right, bet. We kind of touched on this one, but legacy versus payday. That's the one you said was a hard question, but
I mean, if you saying it in that instance, I'm gonna say payday.
I like that. Fuck,
ain't nothing wrong with it.
It's the same question as before that I just said he should have said he liked the money more.
Man, stand on that shit. It's cool. It ain't nothing wrong.
Especially how much money y'all niggas getting right now.
And I ain't gonna lie though, I think it's a way to do both. Like you could protect your legacy and still get paid. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And cause I wouldn't want to be one of them guys that's just grinding. You know what I mean? And then like Bud got his just due at the end.
Yeah.
Like the very end. You know what I'm saying? He been that. Whatever he just did, he been that.
Yes,
but it's like he
facts.
just got to just do at the end. It's like, no, you got. Try to pick up some of them crumbs on the way too, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I say payday, because it's like shit. At the end of the day, we go in that bitch. We grind, we sacrifice, we risk our life, and then after, I want to be paid for everything that I just did. So, payday.
Absolutely. Knockout versus masterclass. Like, you know, basically like you got motherfuckers going out there brawling, just ready to knock somebody ass out, or, you know, is it some type of strategic method?
I mean, sometimes knockouts is cool, but I like masterclass sometimes because it's like the way that I beat Tio, like the way that I beat him, he had to sit there and deal with that shit all night. It's like you got tortured, bro. Like getting tortured ain't bro. I would rather have a quick death than get tortured. So that's how I look at that shit.
Floyd or Pernell Whitaker?
Yo, it's crazy. Y'all be asking some good shit.
You got a relationship with Floyd?
Yeah. That's my dog.
Fuck with Floyd.
Floyd Mayweather, another dude I talk to on the phone all the time. He opened up his gym. Matter of fact, the one thing I respect about him, me and him ain't never done business together in life, but he always fuck with me like heavy, like always give me game, call me up like, yo, he just said this in this interview. Why he say that? I'm like, yo, Floyd's good. I ain't tripping. Why you tripping? Right before the Tio fight, he called me like, man, why you the B side? Like shit, I ain't tripping. Like A side, B side, C side. I'm a step. So, but I mean, I understand him. Like he just looking out for me. He fuck with me. So that's my dog. But like to answer your question, Floyd, Sweet Pea. I'm gonna go with Floyd because he my dog, but I love Sweet Pea, so rest in peace.
Okay, absolutely. We got Vegas or Newark?
Newark. No question. As far as what?
Who better? Goddamn it! Who you got down? Yeah.
All right. First, like skills.
You know them boxers always trying to, you know what I'm saying? You know.
Nah, cause you asking some real shit.
Yeah,
it's like
for sure.
It's hard to say what dude, cause like his only loss was when he got cheated. Like, he really got cheated. Like people could say whatever the fuck they want, but niggas seen him get cheated. It's hard to really just go against dude. But like from a skill standpoint, I would say just because of he's trickier. Like he trickier. He gonna catch you with some shit that you don't see. So I'm gonna say that nigga. Like, damn, I just said this nigga name. I'm bugging. I'm gonna say dude.
Dude, all
Yeah,
right.
dude.
We'll do this. All right. Who's your NBA comparison?
NBA comparison?
Yeah.
Steph
Who-
Curry.
Yeah. What you mean? Fuck your city. Front guarded, nigga. You know what I mean?
Steph
That was a
Curry,
no.
nigga.
You ain't even think about that. You been
4
through that.
division champ, 4 rings, nigga. What y'all talking about?
Okay. Music or silence before the fight?
Music, no question.
What's on your playlist right now? Top 5. Or
Top 5, I'm listening to Many Men. Lose Yourself by Eminem. I like Young Boy, I'm Ready. On 5. Hit him.
That deal was some bullshit, but my second deal was 2 years, 18 million. And I'm talking about they thought I had the 18 in my account.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When I ain't even get paid yet.
Yeah.
How close do those purses be when we
They
see
be
the
wrong
report?
as fuck. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's like either up or it's down. Like they never spot on. Like I've rarely ever seen them be like, okay, that's spot on. Like 9 times out of 10, a lot of the time too, they be down. Like
It'd be low.
fuck,
Be
I ain't
more than that.
cool.
Yeah,
I'd
great.
rather y'all think that I'm making that much than
Right.
I'm making this much because y'all gonna think that I got it. So
But don't that come down to like your business arrangement too though sometimes? Like what your splits is and shit like that? Or is it all it's not all the same, right?
nah, it just come down to like whatever you negotiated.
Mm.
So I think that's really the main thing. But for me, I just wish that they don't put that shit anywhere on the surface because niggas don't need to know that shit. Like I'd rather be. It's a lot of white, like no disrespect to the white people. There's a lot of white millionaires and billionaires who like we don't know what they got. They're not just posting they shit. You would have to go really search and look. Shit, this gonna pop up on Twitter, Instagram.
it's gonna be
this
everywhere.
person got this
Sure.
much. Like that shit lame. I don't like that.
Just speaking on the paper real quick, how do you deal with like telling your family no or like they gotta wait and shit like that? You know what I'm saying? Even just coming up to this point, how did you deal with that part of life?
The thing is, like, it takes time. Like with me, that shit kind of happened like over the years. Like it's like you gotta train them to knowing how to move once you get this. Like,
Especially with him being the older brother too, he was already kind of that role of being a leader.
of course, you're gonna take care and make sure everybody good, but you're gonna also know like y'all ain't just gonna be taking away from what the fuck I got too. So I think it's just like everybody knowing like exactly
Absolutely
what is what.
That's hard. I'm just interested in the business aspect of it more than anything. It's just so different.
I see you got a promotion company too, or what is it?
Nah, I ain't got no
not a
promotion.
promotion company, but you got.
I'm a manager.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
How many fighters do you have underneath you?
2.
You got 2 fighters already.
Yeah.
How old are those fighters?
My little cousin Zay, he's what 20 right now.
Okay.
And then the other one is Manny. He should be 18, 19.
Dogs coming up.
Oh nah, they the truth. Like the fighters that's the thing. Like with me, if I'm gonna like manage fighters, I would want to work it with like people that's like super good or nice. I can see the talent of where they can go. Like, and that's what I see. Like with them niggas is like they like me. They dedicated to their craft. They love the sport. They
gonna do what you do.
Yeah, they gonna do exactly
they
what I
gonna
do.
you
I can't wait.
That's dope though. So you had Dre. So like how are you different as a manager than like he was for you? Or is it more the same?
Nah, we just 2 different people. But like Dre just like he was always on point. Like he know everything. He can explain everything way better than me. Like he know how to explain from top to bottom. Like me, our personality is just different. Like I'm kind of easygoing and I'm gonna give you that knowledge too, but I'm probably just gonna explain it in a different way. But I'm trying to get like better and better at that. It's still like a learning process for me. I'm very young in what I'm doing.
We spoke on Jay Prince a little bit. Was there a point where you started paying more attention to the business, or was it something that you just gradually learned as you went?
Nah, it was a point. It probably was probably like right before my contract with Top Rank was up. Honestly, that whole thing with like ESPN, that shit kind of changed my view on like the business aspect of it. Like, cause I ain't gonna say ESPN was going against me, but I just felt like it was just so much of like
That means ESPN was going against you.
the business. Like, okay, you're not re-signing this deal, so it's so much that comes with it. Like, we don't fuck with you now. Like, we ain't
gonna
fuck
push
with you, but we ain't really
pushing you.
Yeah, so that's when it kind of opened my eyes to be like, okay, I gotta just make sure everything is just right when it comes to the business of it. So
Yeah, them contract years. It's like that in basketball too. You get that motherfucking contract year, niggas start minutes, they start taking you out the game and shit like that. You be like, damn.
I thought y'all fuck with me.
Yeah, it
Nah,
get
for
like
real.
that. It get like
that
that.
goes into like my next question. How do you really know like who in your corner who just been benefiting off of it? You know what I'm saying? Is there
nobody really in your corner but the people that really fuck.
I see what this dude's job is now. He asks the good questions.
Like you know, like your family and the people that's like right next to you that you know. It's just some people could fake it and make you believe like love you or fuck with you like outside of this boxing. For me personally, like the people that's around me, them the people who I know like got my back.
Yeah.
Jay Prince. Actually, another thing like with somebody like Jay Prince, a reason why I mess with him so much is like ups, downs. He's rocking with me.
Yeah.
Ups, downs. Like that's when you know like people really fuck with you. When they can fuck with you when it's up, when it's down.
Sure.
A lot of motherfuckers only fucking with you when it's up. And that's what you're gonna be able to tell, like, okay, there's somebody that's a real stand-up person when they fuck with you when you down, like, and they still fuck with you, they still rocking with you. Whether everybody going against you, they still like, nah, it's us. It's us against the world, not just you against the world.
How did that relationship come about?
Andre Ward.
Okay.
Andre Ward, he the one who kind of put it in my ear, but also my guy that I used to work with, Antonio Leonard, he kind of put me on the Jay Prince, but yeah, through them we all kind of.
That's hard.
It just made sense.
So you said you a boxing junkie all day. What's some other things that you do outside of boxing? Like, what do you like? I know you just spoke on some music, shit like that. Like, what do you do away from boxing?
Shit, when I leave here, I'm gonna go play pickleball. I fuck with pickleball. I think that's like the second best sport ever.
Trying to invest in it.
Nah, I should. No cap. I won't go to the Olympics for that shit. I know they gonna put that shit in the Olympics sooner or later.
No, it is. It's on the way.
Yeah.
That pickleball shit is crazy.
Pickleball
Man.
though, I play the game. Like I'll try to be out the way, bro. Like I ain't one of those people that want to be like outside because there's so much different shit going on outside, so much negativity, and people want to be jealous and all that shit. So I try to like stay away and just be a family man. And
now I know this may seem kind of further down the line, but what's some of your goals and aspirations for when you're done boxing?
That's the part that I'm like figuring out. Like I got so much knowledge within the sport of boxing to where like I know I can make so much money just off of my brains. I can't tell you right now.
Right.
My main focus is just becoming one of the best boxers ever. Then after that shit done with, then I'm gonna
figure that shit out.
Yeah,
I
I'm
feel
gonna
that.
make a lot of money off my head.
Do you got an end goal in mind, like a date or a age, or like so you just rolling with it right now? Go off how you feel.
Nah, I remember Drake saying a song. He said, "The moment I stop having fun with it, I'll be done with it." That's when I'm done. Like once this shit stop being fun, this sport too dangerous to be in it and not really have your head
heart.
in
Yeah,
it.
not have your heart in it.
Yeah.
You like this new era of like you got the Netflix and like you said we talked about you got the turkey and you got like all these different platforms. Because I ain't gonna lie, that Netflix shit was crazy. Like going to the Canelo fight, the Bud Canelo fight, like that was that shit was like a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I love it. I love the fact that so many people is investing in the sport of boxing. But I think now that we got all these eyes and like everybody watching us, it makes for the sport to be just so much better. So I'm cool with it. I like the fact that the females is getting eyes on them too. And the sport just going up. Like even YouTubers, they fucking
Yeah,
with
what you think
boxing.
about that
Aiden
Jake Paul
Ross.
shit? What do you think about that shit? Like
Uh,
the Jake Paul shit.
I thought he was crazy for even doing that. I thought
Yeah.
that was like
That was crazy.
he was
took it a little too
wilding.
far on that one. On
Yeah,
on
like
a
he should have
Joshua.
picked and choose when it came
Broke
to
his
kind of.
jaw off.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
That motherfucker was too big.
Yeah, that was
too big.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna put our bid in for your next fight, whenever that is. We might get us an unguarded patch on your goddamn trunks or something, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we almost got Bud. We almost got Bud with the Lemon Perfect, but the deal it didn't go through. We was gonna get him for that fight.
Shit, I would do it.
I was trying to sell them on. I was trying to sell them on Bud. They didn't know shit about boxing.
Yeah.
This is before. I'm like, this the one.
I would do it for sure, but as long as it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, come on, we ain't gonna shortchange you. I
got
see the motherfucking diamonds on your neck. We ain't gonna disrespect you with nothing crazy like that.
Nah, I got you. I'm with it though.
Tell the fans or a boxing casual, like teach like how do they watch a Shakur Stevenson fight? Like, what are you looking for? Because like sometimes you be doing a lot of shit that people.
It's actually a good question.
People don't even
Understand.
Facts.
For me,
footwork, defense, hands up, strong, solid stance.
I just think like fans need to actually like study the craft, like what y'all like y'all craft and like the ability, like how you, Kyrie, Steph, like y'all got them moves. Like the craft is like where y'all the best at. So with us, I just feel like our craft is like hit and don't be hit. Like a motherfucker will get in that ring. Even my last fight, I stood in front of that motherfucker. I ain't move all around the ring. I was right there in front of him. I was pushing forward, but I'm not getting touched. But I'm touching him. I'm hitting him all night. So just the craft and understanding the sport of boxing is hit and don't get hit. And a person that can master that is going to be the best fighter every time. He's going to be able to beat everybody. I don't care who it is. If they mastered hit and don't get hit, they're the best. And that's Floyd Mayweather. If you watch his whole career, he was the GOAT. From hit and don't get hit. Bud, Crawford, Andre Ward, all of these fighters mastered that shit. So I think the casual fans just need to study the actual sport and learn the craft of the sport. And when they do that, they'll understand it.
You feel like you at that point now? You got that shit down?
Now, I mean, I don't want to say I'm master. I think like
I'm saying you damn close.
Right.
Hey, I don't know everything.
I'm
I
the
know a
best
little
at it, though.
bit. Shit, you damn close. I know you always trying to get better and all that shit. You know, so I got it. But I'm looking at you. You know what I'm saying?
that go against.
It's
they
a
go,
feeling. Yeah,
they go against like
you can't
what
say it.
What I'm like every day in the gym for. Like I go to the gym, it's going against that. But like in the sport of boxing right now, I do think I'm the best person at it.
Yeah, you on your way for sure. How far up do you think you could go in weight?
I think 147 would be my last weight class.
That'll be it.
That'll be my last. That's why everybody kind of like, oh, go to 147, 47. They like just trying to force it on me, but it's like I will get there. Like I don't mind getting there when it's time, but I don't think like right now that's gonna be the weight class. I'm 28.
Yeah,
my career ain't over in the next 4 to 5 years. I'm still moving, so
sure
I could get there when I get there. But I think 147 would be probably my last weight class.
Apparently this man picked Pierce. I said Pink Morgan. Pierce Morgan think he know about MMA now. So let's see. He's dumb about politics. So I'm not expecting too much from him.
Is there a bigger pussy than Eddie Hearn?
He was quite upset.
Is there a bigger pussy than Eddie Hearn?
There's been a lot of pussy talk this week, Dana.
It's crazy.
You are the biggest animal in world sport.
Is Dana White the biggest animal in all world sports? Wouldn't that mean he would have a richer promotion?
Wants to box? We can box.
If it actually happened, who would win? Would you be confident? What is the state of play with Tom?
Tom and I obviously need to talk.
What do you think of what is happening at the moment with Iran? Do you have a view about it?
Not anything that I would talk about publicly. Tom Donald Trump is a very good friend of mine. I was just with him last week again, and he's hilarious, and he's an animal.
There's going to be this big UFC event at the White House. A lot of speculation about who may be on that bill. Are you looking at the name John Jones as you stare at that whiteboard?
Interesting.
Can he give you the scoop? Dana White is well famous for turning UFC into a global juggernaut, making some very powerful friends and some powerful enemies along the way. He's now bringing his unique brand of strategic shock therapy to the world of boxing, where it's fair to say not everyone's enjoying the challenge. Last month, Conor Benn, a very familiar face to uncensored viewers, left Eddie Hearn's matchroom to join Dana's Zuffa Boxing, a decision which left Eddie Hearn furious. Well, Dana White joins me now. Dana, welcome back to Uncensored.
Good to see you.
I ain't gonna lie, nobody trying to see Dana White box. I ain't even trying to see you shirtless for real, cause we seen how you swung on your wife.
Buddy.
There's been a lot of pussy talk this week, Dana. You called Eddie Hearn a pussy. He's responded to the pussy claim by saying he kind of takes it as a compliment because you're talking about him. Explain why you think he's a massive pussy.
I'm talking about him. This guy hasn't shut up since the day I got into this sport. It's crazy. Eddie and I had a relationship, and I literally didn't see that coming. And to be honest with you, I wasn't going to mess with Eddie at all. You know, I liked him, and I mean, it's been absolutely crazy. I'm talking about him. This guy hasn't shut up since the day I got into the sport. The reason I'm actually, you know, listen, and Eddie said, oh, this is great. I look forward to competing with him. And there's a lot of things he doesn't know about boxing that he's going to learn the hard way. And Eddie, I've been in this business for 30 years.
People who don't know, Dana White actually started off in boxing. I wonder if I'll mention that.
And, you know, the whole Conor Benn thing. Apparently, they're supposed to be really close, and Eddie's supposed to be hurt by this and all this stuff. Eddie Hearn and his father are incredibly wealthy and will be for the rest of their lives. Conor, who they care about, is going to make some good money for him and his family. He should be happy for him if they're that friendly and that close, or he should have matched the deal, which he could have done. He obviously has the money, and he could have matched or beat it.
See, that's at the nub of this, isn't it? Because you and His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh from Salah, who I know well, you've come storming into boxing. You've grabbed it by the horns. And in the UK in particular, Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn, with their different companies, are used to kind of being quite dominant there. Eddie, I think his position would be, I've known him a long time, is that he nurtured Conor Benn, but it wasn't that hurt him. It's that when Conor Benn was going through his big drug scandal problem, which ultimately he came through, of course, but when he was going through it and everyone else was tossing him on the bonfire and throwing him to the wolves, Eddie stood by him, and he felt that when it came to him defecting to you, he didn't really even give him the courtesy of a phone call. As somebody who's had to manage your own roster of people, could you understand why, if you stand by somebody who goes through a really tough time, it's that's the betrayal, not just, you know, someone moving management?
Yeah, it happens. I wouldn't confuse business with, you know, the personal relationship either. You know, when we signed Jayo Pataya, who's fighting this weekend for us, Eddie came out and said, you know what, he never sold anything anyway. I couldn't sell anything with Jai. Oh, Jai's job is, your job is to sell. So when you sign a guy, his job is to be a badass. Your job is to figure out how to make him and you as much money as you possibly can.
That was an excellent way of putting it.
Are there any rules in the fight game from your perspective? I mean, is there any...
That's kind of a dumb question.
Like gentleman's code?
The reason it's a dumb question because there's clearly rules in the fight game, or else we wouldn't have a sport. Kind of
between you all, and is the kind of stuff we've seen between you and Eddie this week, is that all part of the theater? If you're honest, Dana?
Yeah, if there's a guy under contract, you don't mess with him. When contracts are up and somebody has the right to negotiate,
He's about to say renege on the contract. That's how you know he's okay with people reneging on the contract as long as it doesn't affect him.
All's fair.
The reports are that you offered Conor Benn $15 million for one fight. Can you confirm that?
I cannot.
Because it's not true, or because you don't want to talk about it?
Yeah. Eddie Hearn had him under contract. And Eddie Hearn, when his contract was up, Eddie Hearn has the right to match and has the right to negotiate for his fighter. He could have kept him if he wanted to.
In terms
you got all
of
these guys,
the way you guys,
hey, so you got all these guys that are talking smack. I didn't say anything. I sat back and we're getting into the game. I'm gonna, build it from the ground up. I'm gonna, I'm not going after like Usyk and, all these type of guys. I'm gonna go after the
One thing about Dana White, he has serious business acumen.
up and coming stars. This is what I like, building things from the ground up. And that was what I said. I don't know if everybody took that as, that's all I would do or whatever it was. So Oscar De La Hoya is suing his fighters to try to make them stay with him. You know you're running a bad business when you're suing your people to stay with you. And listen, anybody who ever gets into business and says that they want to compete, I don't take anybody lightly, and I don't overlook anybody. And all of these guys apparently felt that way about me. They underestimated me, or I don't know. And here we are.
well, for viewers who've not been following Pussygate this week, I just want to play what you said about Eddie first, and then what he said in his response. So let's take a look.
Okay. Well, I think you saw this week, I am really beating up babies. Is there a bigger pussy than Eddie Hearn?
He was quite upset that Conor Benn left him.
Is there a bigger pussy than Eddie Hearn? This guy's supposed to be your friend. You're fucking crying. He made more money. He's going to make more money, and he had the right to match it. He could have matched it.
I think he said he tried. And
He's supposed to be running the bigger promotion. Why didn't he match? I said, bro, Dana White's cooking this guy.
Conor Benn wouldn't return his calls.
What a crock of shit. Yeah. We're literally beating up babies. Yeah.
I don't look at Dana White. There's nothing. It's not like, he comes out of the press. That surprised me, right? Eddie, have you ever known a bigger pussy? I'm like, fucking hell. I mean, firstly, this is so good for me. Like, you're sitting at your UFC press conference and you're talking about it, right? So,
I mean, they're not talking about crazy, interesting things at the UFC press conferences anyway, so it's going to bring eyes to him as well.
in terms of me building a profile and a brand in the US, this is golden. The more they talk about me, the better. But I don't go away from that going, I can't believe he called me a pussy.
So you're helping his career, he's saying, in America, Dana.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how his career is being helped in America. Yeah, I'll tell you what, you and I will obviously talk again in the future. When we talk a year from now, let's see how well his brand's looking in America.
I mean, are you guys, Frank Warren, obviously, full disclosure, another long-time friend of mine. I've known him a long time, Frank. He says he's considering legal action against you and your company, TKO, and against Seller, Turkey Al-Sheikh's company. What is your reaction to that potential legal action? And on a sort of wider scale, is your mission, if you're honest, to wipe these guys out? Do you want to completely dominate world boxing in a way that doesn't leave room for people like Frank Warren or Eddie Hearn to operate in the way that they used to?
Let me ask you a question. And I like the Warrens. You haven't heard me say anything about them. Always been nice guys. Anytime I've ever, dealt with them, they haven't come out and really said anything. Sue me for what? I mean, I'm in the business just like they're in the business. What have I done other than compete to be sued by the Warrens? We haven't messed with any of their fighters that are under contract or tried to steal anybody or do anything like that, and we won't to any of the promoters. I'm in here to compete. I mean, all the sanctioning organizations are going crazy. Eddie Hearn absolutely lost his mind. You know, the Warrens haven't said anything, and you know, but they're talking about legal action. You know, I don't know what they have. You know, think they have with Turkey Al Sheikh. You know, that's their relationship, but I don't know what I have done to the Warrens that they think I should be sued, other than compete.
What do you feel, Dane? Yeah, I mean, on a big picture scale, some boxing purists, and it may be that they're slightly dinosaur in this thinking, but they look at the kind of fights that are coming along which are generating the really big money, whether it involves Jake Paul and Mike Tyson or Floyd Mayweather getting back in with Manny Pacquiao, whatever it may be. And they say, look, these aren't real fights. These are like entertainment bouts, purely for entertainment. And because they make such big money, there are going to be more and more of them, and that the purity of actual boxing gets diminished along the way. And the parallel they use is that you wouldn't do this in UFC, for example. UFC has got a
I don't believe there's purity in boxing.
purity about it, where when you put on a UFC night, you want the best of the best competing at the elite level. You wouldn't have a bunch of, you know, older guys in the mix. What do you say to that?
I agree with that. I would be one of those guys that agrees with that. But that type of stuff is always going to happen. If you find two guys that, you know, are famous and want to fight each other, you know, there's always going to be an interest in that. But that's not what I do. What I do is I put the absolute best versus the best against each other every weekend. Literally every weekend I do it. So that's what I'm bringing back to boxing, is that these guys, almost everybody's undefeated in the sport, right? Because they're not fighting anybody. The best will fight the best. I mean, I've only done 3 shows, and I don't know off the top of my head, but a lot of undefeated kids have already fought each other in Zuffa boxing. And I am one of those boxing purists, so I would agree with that.
What do you think of the likes of Jake Paul, kind of influencers who are trying the fight game? I mean, he's got better, but do you think he's an asset to the sport or not?
Well, listen, Jake Paul's doing his thing. He's, you know, guys obviously made a lot of money, and you know, people have been interested in it, and he plays the heel perfectly. You know, even if you hate what he's doing and you hate all the stuff about him, you hate him so bad that you're tuning in to see him get knocked out. So he's played the thing the right way. And I'll tell you this, he got hit. If you look at what AJ did to Francis Ngannou, right? And the Jake, it was a terrible fight. And you know, he kept trying to tackle him. He did everything he could to avoid a fight. But once he got hit with that shot and he went down, broke his jaw, AJ didn't knock him out. And he definitely didn't knock him out the way he knocked Francis out. So if I give Jake Paul any credit, I'll give him that, and that he's, you know, he's built himself a business and he's made a lot of money.
And will you watch Mayweather Pacquiao, the rematch?
I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things that depends on, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I have to be home on Saturday to see this. But if I'm home, I'd probably watch it. Yeah. And that's the thing with those type of fights. If you're not doing anything, you're not going to go out of your way to try to stay home to watch it. But if you're home, you're definitely going to watch it.
Who do you want at Zuffa that you don't currently have? Who's on your wish list?
Listen, my thing is right now in this building phase is I want all the best up and coming guys and people that we believe can be world champions someday. No different than, understand this, right? When I built the UFC, I took everything that I loved about boxing and everything that I hated about boxing in building this business. So, and look how well it's worked. So how well do you think it's going to work for boxing?
Yeah, I mean, as you know, I've said it to your face before, but I'm a massive admirer of the whole UFC business you built. And I remember the early days, how you were mocked and reviled for it. People didn't think it would ever last. And here you are with this multi-billion-dollar brand that is incredibly popular. And when you watch it, you know you're watching supreme athletes at the peak of their game. as a sports fan of any sport, that's what I love to watch. I watch the recent Winter Olympics once every 4 years if I believe I'm watching the best skiers in the world, right? I don't think I'd watch two has-beens get it on a mountain side. So I think like that as a sports fan.
I agree. I do too. And when you have the best versus the best, people know it, people feel it, and when you get the right fight in the right place at the right time, everybody wants to watch it. Think about this. So when I got into this, you were just saying about the business. When I got into this, everybody was telling me this will never work. Nobody's going to ever care about UFC. You'll never be bigger than boxing. You'll never get Saturday nights because boxing owns Saturday nights. Well, here we are, and now I'm getting into boxing.
You've become staggeringly rich, Dana. I mean that as a compliment. And you gave a fascinating interview in the street recently to a random guy that just stopped you and asked you about kind of life lessons. It was really interesting because you talked about that you had some of the happiest moments of your life when you were broke, when you had nothing. And yet, whenever I've met you or interviewed you, and it's a number of times now, and I see it as a great honor to talk to you because I think you're one of the significant figures in world sport. I just get a feeling of a guy who, yeah, you're stinking rich, but you're actually a happy guy. And you're quite a well-adjusted guy, I think. I don't know you as well as you know yourself, but it looks to me like money hasn't corrupted you like it has a lot of people.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, money ruins everything. When a lot of money gets involved, everybody thinks that the answer and the key to happiness in their life is going to be if they can make a lot of money. You know what money does? Money doesn't make you sweat the things that regular people sweat. How am I going to pay the mortgage, the car payment? You don't sweat that stuff, but money brings a lot of other problems to your life. And if you're not a happy person who loves your life when you're broke, you are definitely not going to be a happy person that loves your life when you have a lot of money. I can guarantee you that. And yes, I told that kid some of the greatest times of my life were when I was broke. I had a blast when I was broke.
Well, what's the best and worst thing about being highly successful and very wealthy?
There's a lot of things that people don't see. A lot of people coming at you all the time. You really can't trust people. You can't let your guard down with anybody. And everybody needs to borrow money, man. Everybody needs to borrow money. There's people that lie and everything. Pierce, I'm sure you deal with it.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. Somebody says to you, hey, I want to borrow some money. That money's never coming back. Okay, there's no such thing as borrowing money. You just got to say, here you go, and you try to make sure that the money doesn't destroy relationships. Is what I really try to focus on in my life. I care more about people than I do money, so I always just try to make sure the money doesn't destroy any of my relationships that I care about.
It was interesting. You gave another interview where you were talking about how you run your business, and you were saying that you don't care whether people get in at 2 minutes past 9, as long as they do the work, right? So if they finish it at 9 o'clock at night, that's fine. But also, you said that if they've got a family and they've got a kid who's got a school match or a play or whatever it may be, you want them to feel they can go to those things. And I thought that was such a refreshing attitude for a boss of a major company to have, because so many bosses, I think, have a sort of negative view of that kind of thing. You've got to be in there. You've got to be in there 5 days a week, 9 to 8. There's no time. If your family comes first, you're not for us. You seem to have that work-life balance for you and your team the way it should be.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's very important to me. So my team that works here, we go every Saturday. There's a lot of traveling involved, and in the summertime, I throw big parties out back here. I do like carnivals and stuff, and I want them to bring their kids to the office and see where their parents work, and make it a fun place, for their families too. On this board here, I got fights. March 7th is this weekend, and then we go all the way to June 20th that we lay out. And once we start getting into this, you get into the year, it's just like boom, 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 boom. Now my kids my kids are my two boys are 23 and 24. My daughter is 19, and they're all out of my house, and it went by so fast. Now everybody that works here is an animal. I have a building full of animals here. My team is incredible, and they're all grown-ups. They know what they need to do. They know what needs to be done, and I don't care when they get their job done. It could be at 3 in the afternoon, or it can be at 3 in the morning. This building's 24 hours, and if your kid has a game, a play, a parent-teacher conference, anything like that, get the hell out of here and go do that stuff and be there for your kids and enjoy these moments with your family, because it's going to go by quick. And I'm all about that. You know, there's no, hey, it's 9:05. Where's Eric? Why is he not at the office yet? If I need Eric, I'll find Eric and I'll track him down. And, you know, but yeah, I don't want people to sacrifice their relationship with their kids and their families for work.
Do you think you're a good father then?
Yeah.
Try to be.
That's
It's important to me.
what kind of question is that? What is he looking for there?
Important to me, so it's a very high priority on my list. So I try to be.
My dad's given me two pieces of advice that I can remember. He's still with us, and one was always be polite to police officers, and the other one was always drink the best French wine you can afford. Both excellent pieces of advice. But what advice do you try and give? What advice do you try and give your kids?
I always try to tell my kids, you know, I don't ever want my kids to feel like they have to compete with anything that I've ever done in my life. I want my kids to choose their own path, and the only thing I care about is that they're happy. If my kids came and told me, Dad, I want to pump gas for a living because I love getting up early in the morning, I love the smell, I love the, you know, love it. Knock yourself out. I'm not trying to have my kids be doctors or lawyers or businessmen, or I just want my kids to live happy, full lives, and that's it.
One of the things you mentioned, that money can ruin relationships, which is obviously so true, but so can politics. And there's nobody that is more divisive in that sense, I guess, than Donald Trump. You and I have been friends of his for a couple of decades, and we've seen the good, bad, and ugly of him. And he's a unique character. As my daughter put it, he's almost too unique. But he's someone we've known very well for a long time. If you say you're a friend of Donald Trump, as you've discovered and I discover, there's a lot of people that instantly that puts their shackles up. They hate you. They want to judge you for it. And I've seen families break down over this, relationships, friendships, work colleagues all falling out over Trump, politics generally, but particularly Trump. You must get that all the time because you speak out in support of him. How do you deal with that? What's your view of that?
It's a fascinating thing because I have a lot of relationships, obviously, with people who are very conservative, but I have really good relationships with people who are very liberal too. Back when we grew up, you didn't talk about religion or politics. Now I think these things have changed everything. So it's just it's a different world we live in. But I'm not as political as everybody thinks I am. So when I'm around, I don't really talk a lot of politics. And any time that I've ever spoke at the Republican convention or for Trump or at any of his rallies, you never hear me putting down the other side. I never put down the other side or any of that type of stuff. I can have my opinion, and Donald Trump is a very good friend of mine, and he's a great human being, and I love the guy. I mean, every time I was just with him last week again, and for 2 days after I left him, I was cracking up laughing about stuff that he said while I was there. He's hilarious, and he's an animal. He is literally the hardest working guy I know. He loves this country, and he cares about people, and how he is being portrayed by the media is actually gross. It's gross the way that they portray him because he's the furthest thing from it. But is he an alpha male? He is an alpha male, and he's a tough guy, man.
What do you think of what is happening at the moment with Iran? It's the big news story at the moment. you have a view about it?
Not really. I mean, I do in ways, but again, not anything that I would talk about publicly. You know, that's what I'm talking about politically. Whether it's, listen, the United States is doing it, what the United States is going to do. Regular citizens like us, you know, you can support it or not support it or feel however you want to feel about it, but it's going to happen. That's that. Just deal with it.
On June the 14th, which happens to be Donald Trump's 80th birthday, as part of America's celebrations of the 250th year of that shameful moment when you gained independence from us, which I have to say, we don't celebrate in quite the same way, Dana.
Every 4th of July, I text Michael Bisping some funny meme about leaving England. It's awesome. I love it. Yeah.
You know, you could have had King Piers the First if you played your cards right, but instead you went your own lonely furrow. But there's gonna be this big UFC event at the White House in front of 5,000 people on the White House South Lawn. A lot of, I mean, it's completely unprecedented. It's going to be an amazing spectacle. A lot of speculation about who may be on that bill, particularly that John Jones, who I think last time I spoke to you said was the greatest of all the UFC fighters, that he might come out of retirement to take on Alex Pereira. Can you confirm that? Can you give me the scoop?
So I'm in the war room right now. All the fights, like I told you, March 7th all the way to June 20th are laid out. We've kept this card so private and secret. Lene, my head of PR, is sitting right across from me, and behind her is this big whiteboard that we moved in here. And the whole card is laid out right here on the whiteboard.
So you know who it is.
Why is it a secret?
I'm looking at it right now. I'm staring at all 6 fights. We're scheduled to do 6 fights.
Are you looking at the names? Are you looking at the name John Jones as you stare at that whiteboard?
We were going to do 6 fights. I might actually do 7. I might add one more, but yeah, I'm excited. I'll announce.
Well, the word is your surprise edition may be Conor McGregor.
Interesting. You know, it's funny. Every day when I wake up, you know, somebody will send me leaked. This fight's happening. Like all these guys on the internet are putting like every fight that is possible to make out there that it's going to happen at the White House. I think if they keep throwing enough shit out there, something's going to stick, and eventually they have to be right. You know what I mean? There's only everybody.
This guy is a media trained expert at dancing around questions he doesn't want to answer. People should really take notes who's trying to get media trained.
Weight class, the top 15. You know, they keep putting together every fight that's possible, so eventually they're going to be right. But yeah,
are you going to answer that it'll be announced this week?
Yeah.
And have you had to clear the names with the president? Is he taking an active participation role in this?
Listen, the president's got more important shit to do right now than worry about the card. He's a big UFC fan, and obviously he trusts me and knows that I'm going to bring the best available card and the best production anybody's ever seen. The production on this fight is so incredible. It is going to be a one-of-one special event, and not just for the fighters and the fans, but for my staff that gets to work this event. It's going to be incredible.
Any chance of an 8th bout in the ring between you and Eddie Hearn?
No. How old's Eddie Hearn? How old's Eddie? In his 40s or something? He's still pretty young.
I mean, he's a big unit. He'd probably fancy him.
Yeah, he's huge.
He did box he boxed his dad. Yeah, I mean, who do you think would win if you had a fight? He boxed his dad. Yeah.
Well, let's
would win?
Put it this way. We were talking about this earlier. First of all, we're both too old. That would have to be like a Jake Paul Netflix card, okay? Or we could both fight Jake Paul. We're in his age bracket of guys he likes to fight. I don't know. Did Eddie Hearn box his dad? And who won?
Yeah.
We watch
They actually got in the ring. You know, when Eddie was in his teens, he got in the ring with his dad, and they went about 3 or 4 rounds. And I think Eddie won, and Barry walked away. But the age difference then was a little bit more than it is between you and Eddie now. I mean, Eddie has a 10-year advantage over you. He's got the youth, but you are Dana White. You are the biggest animal in world sport. You know, if it actually happened, who would win?
Listen, if Eddie wants to box, we can box. We can box if Eddie wants to box.
He's just saying that because he knows if Eddie doesn't want to do that.
I don't think Eddie wants to box.
Would you be confident?
Yeah, listen, I used to, you know, back in the day, I used to box with all the guys, you know, boxers and UFC guys. I have boxed.
So if Eddie Hearn's up for it, you're on for it.
Absolutely.
I might promote that. I want to talk to you just about somebody that I interviewed, Dana, a while ago, Tom Aspinall. He obviously he was your heavyweight champion. He's recovering from double eye surgery.
He is my heavyweight champion.
He is your heavyweight champion, right? Yeah. What is the situation with Tom? Because he had this eye surgery. In my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that you've not had any personal contact with him since then. What is the current state of play with Tom?
Yeah, the company has talked to him. I haven't talked to him, and Tom and I obviously need to talk. You know, he came out recently, or his dad too, saying that, you know, they felt like I was, you know, I don't know how they said it, but that I had sort of shit on him in the way that I had spoke about, you know, his eye injury, which was absolutely positively not the case. Tom Aspinall is a guy that I respect. He's been great, you know, to work with, you know, the whole time he's been here in the UFC. And, you know, never once did I question his injury or speak negatively about it. I said something once that I said, I think he's okay. And I think he's going to be good. And they came out and said, no, that's not the case. And he said, I haven't even talked to Dana. I don't know why he would say that. But, you know, obviously my medical team is talking to him. And that was what I had thought. And they thought that I had knocked him in some way, which I absolutely positively didn't and wouldn't. I like him very much and respect him. I've never had a problem with Tom Aspinall.
Do you think he'll fight again?
I do.
Is that from conversations his team have had with your team?
Well, you know, he's still dealing with whatever's going on with his eyes. You know, and obviously over the last 30 years of being in this business, I've seen, you know, injuries that I question whether guys would come back from, and they always have, including eye pokes. But who knows? But if you ask me, sitting right here, right now, do I think Tom Aspinall will compete again? I would say yes.
Just finally, Dana, what ambitions do you have left? You conquered UFC, you're conquering boxing. Is there a bigger ambition for you, either professionally or personally?
It's a little early to say he's conquering boxing, but he's doing pretty well so far.
Personally, that you can talk about?
Well, as we continue to build TKO, when you think about, you know, what we've done already has never been done in the history of combat sports. Now getting into boxing, and I've always had this I don't know what you'd call it, goal, I guess. When I grew up here in the United States, we had Channel 3, Channel 5, Channel 8, Channel 13. And then cable came when I was in high school, 30 channels, and then the rest is history, we all know. I believe that Channel 3, Channel 5, Channel 8, and 13 will exist again, but globally. And who are the players going to be? Paramount's making big moves right now. Netflix is a monster, you know. So when you think about my business, right, the fight business as a whole, I got Slapped, which is absolutely killing it. UFC is killing it.
Slapped is definitely not killing it. There's no way people are really watching it.
Boxing's on the right track. And when you think about the ceiling for combat sports, there's 8 billion people in the world. And now we're getting to a point in our lives where...
Be careful what words you guys putting in the chat. I don't want that to remove anybody.
Streaming is becoming a reality globally. So when you put on the right fight in the right place with the right guys, what is your ceiling? Your ceiling is 8 billion people. And I just love the idea of that. And And I love the idea of just building this absolute machine that has never been done before. Plus, all the people that have told me for the last 25 years that this can't be done, that can't be done. Even when I started Power Slap, everybody was like, this is stupid. This is never going to work. This is never going to, and it's the same things they said to me.
Why didn't he just take that money and invest it in the kickboxing? It would have made so much more sense. Maybe he's not interested in making money anymore. He's just having fun with it.
About UFC. And Pierce, I love that stuff. I love it. Love it. It's what gets me out of bed.
I've got to be honest. If you'd come to me with the idea of Power Slap, I'd have thought you'd lost your mind. I'd have said there's absolutely no way that is ever going to catch on. And yet now it's one of the biggest money spinners in world sport, right?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's been incredibly successful. In just 2 years, we have over 30 million followers. Our YouTube channel, which I'm a big believer in building your own channels out there, and our YouTube channel has over 4 million subscribers for Power Slap, and growing. So I sort of have this feeling I get, gut you could call it, when I started watching Power Slap on Instagram. What fascinated me is that I'm so jaded by the fight business. I would stick around to the end. I wanted to see who won and how. And, I'm like, if I feel like this, lots of other people. And again, Pierce, the world is getting smaller every year. So, everybody thinks that, oh my God, Power Slap is ridiculous. This thing is silly. Well, I don't need everybody to like it. There's 8 billion people on Earth. I only need this many people to like it, and it's incredibly successful.
Yeah, it's so true. This Sunday, you've got your Zuffa Boxing Championship belt being contested for the very first time. Just give me a bit of meat on the bone about that.
Yeah, so Jai Opetaia is, the best cruiserweight in the world and one of the pound-for-pound best fighters in the world. He's 29-0. He's got 23 knockouts, and he's taking on Brandon Glanton, who's 1-3 with 18 knockouts and coming off a big upset win in his last fight. Both of these guys, Glanton's got like an 86% knockout ratio, and Jai Opetaia's got an 80% knockout ratio. I'm super excited for this fight, and it's for the first ever Zuffa belt. So one of these guys is going to walk out the Zuffa Cruiserweight champion this weekend.
Well, exciting. Dana, it's always great to talk to you. Thank you very much for taking time out of your ridiculous schedule to come back on Uncensored. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, my friend. Have a great day.
Piers Morgan Uncensored is proudly independent. The only boss around here is me.
Let us say hello once again to the one and only, the one and only undisputed UFC heavyweight champion, Tom Aspinall. There he is. Hello, Tom.
Apologies for that. We had some technical issues. I only heard a little bit of Eddie's last bit, and then it all started breaking up.
Well, it was vintage Eddie Hearn. It was incredible stuff from Eddie. And part of the reason why I wanted you to hear it, because I'm sure it felt really, really good to hear that type of stuff.
Somebody remind me, what was the name of that 185-pounder from the UK? I think it's Darren Till.
Because you haven't heard.
Did he go crazy?
Heard a lot of that as of late from non-media members. So, Tom, we'll get into it because big news for you, a lot going on in your life. One thing I want to ask you up the top, he's referred to you a couple times, including in that last answer, as when he saw you, he felt like you were a broken man. Was that a fair way to describe how you were feeling about a week ago when you sat down with him for the first time?
I don't know if I was a broken man, but I definitely haven't been in my best spirits. My mojo has gone a little bit. One sec, I got to move this behind me. This is a mess. 1 sec. But I'm not supposed to be in this room, you see. I'm supposed to be upstairs, but my kids are asleep at this
time. No, I get it. It's late. I feel like this is the room where you do the YouTube stuff, right? I feel like I've seen this couch before. Am I wrong? I feel like this is...
Yeah, this is my living room. This is where we do the watch-along stuff, but I wasn't... my kids have recently been in this room, so it's a little bit of a mess.
I get it. Back to your mojo. So you say not broken, but the mojo needed to get back.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a rough time, to be honest. I think I've cried about it enough publicly. So yeah, it's been a rough time. Eddie's seen me over the last couple of weeks. Got to know Eddie pretty good. Me and Eddie do each other a little bit from around. He's been to a couple of my fights and stuff, and obviously we are from the same country and move in similar kind of circles. So me and Eddie knew each other a little bit. We've got a few mutual friends and stuff, but I think it's fair. It's a fair assessment to say that my mojo was gone a little bit.
So he told us that he was going to Wood Warrington and Nottingham just a couple of weeks ago. Michael Ridout, who used to work for IMG, now DAZN, says, "Hey, have you talked to Tom? You should speak to Tom." And my understanding was he then spoke to your father and then you. Is that your timeline? Is that how all this started, or did you guys reach out to perhaps Michael to try to get a meeting with Eddie?
As far as I'm aware, that's what happened. I know I don't really know Michael too well. I've met him a couple of times. But he's friends, or he knows my dad at least. So.
You found value in the stream so far. I like the video for me.
So, I think those two speak a little bit, and yeah, I think they're mainly Michael's idea, as far as I'm aware.
Wow. And so does Eddie speak to your father first?
Yeah, he spoke to my dad a couple of times. Then we jumped on a Zoom, and to be honest, I wasn't really on board at first with it all. I'm sure Eddie told you I didn't listen to Eddie's interview, but I seen him say it a couple of times. I actually wasn't on board until we went and met in person, to be honest. I just didn't feel like that's what I needed right now, but obviously changed my mind.
So he said that you told him that you were going to fly to Monaco to tell him thanks, but no thanks, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. Like we spoke a couple of times on the phone on a couple of Zoom meetings and stuff. And look, I've been a fan of Eddie. I've watched Eddie and been around Eddie enough to know what kind of guy he is and know that he's my kind of person anyway. But I just didn't feel like I really wanted to be involved in all that stuff right now. So I wanted to see him face to face to really make a decision. So I didn't really go in there thinking I'm not going to do it, but I wasn't leaning that way, to be honest, when we flew to Monaco.
And so how did he win you over? Because another thing that I said to Eddie was, I could think of every single manager under the sun has asked me over the years, hey, can you give me Tom's number? Can you give me Andy's number? I want to represent Tom. He needs my help, this, that, and the other. And I know you guys are a tight-knit team. Your dad's your coach, and he does your business dealings, and it's worked. And so I was so surprised. Surprised maybe is the best word. I was like, wow, they finally let someone in. Like the Aspinalls finally let someone in. What was it about Eddie and the rest of the team at Matchroom? I know Frank Smith was there, etc.